go ahead and turn off the thing.
Like that?
Perfect. Okay.
Is it a thing over?
What thing?
The
Cursor? That's fine.
Huh?
It's
So you
fine.
might hold the skull.
All right. So last time we played, you guys were in the midst of a rescue mission, following along the pathway leading from the Vesuvian Mountains all the way down to Venovia, the capital city of the Crete Empire. You were able to intercept a convoy delivering hundreds of these Aarakocra to the Sinduin fortune of the Grey Spires. After devising a plan, working with Everett, your dwarf friend, you were able to make your way all the way through a secret passageway in a tree that he was able to find. Because he helped create it, you guys were able to go underneath in the cover of nightfall.
Food.
Motherfucker, 3 times?
It's gonna be okay. We'll come
Is
get
someone
it.
Hey, fuck you.
I don't know this.
You only rings the doorbell 3 times.
Now he's looking
The door
at
isn't
the skull.
Yeah, get run over by a bus. Just kidding. That's a little tough.
That was
All right then.
That's a little bit.
Don't put that on.
Very small amount of food. No door.
He also stopped in the middle of the road, left his front door open in his car.
I think he's got a good vibe about the neighborhood. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of black people.
Okay, so as I was saying, you guys went into a tunnel underground through the bark of a tree. You came up into one of the holding cells of all the Aarakocra that were there, seemingly to meet their doom in the fighting pits. After calming the situation and letting them know you're there to save them, your rogues and some of your sneakier individuals were able to kind of spot out the house, the bottom floor, creeped your way up the stairs. After hearing some noises and voices through some of the bedrooms in front of you, devised the plan to sneak around the staircase into these leading hallways to the open area where you were met to the back of a chair facing a fireplace. Benjamin snuck up using his feline quietness, got behind him, and in one quick slash cut through Sinduin's neck, completely killing him in one blow.
We were very worried about that though.
As he falls to the door, quickly casts on all 3 of the doors behind an arcane lock that could not be opened. And one by one, the misfits opened each door and slain who was inside. Ultimately leading to the, actually it was the middle door, the door on the right, where you opened up and you ran into some of the big boys. You ran into the big human, you ran into the bird-like creature, and a couple of the other fighters. Killed them all relatively easily, but right before the death of the large individual that you originally spoke to in the convoy, he brought Mira into this plane. Fighting Mira was no easy task. She brought a couple of you down very close to death, and one of you all the way to death and beyond. Benjamin fell shortly after fully killing her, essentially her tether to this plane. She smiled and vanished. At this point, Benjamin's body that had been disintegrated into ash reformed through this electrical whirlwind. And he's back. As he's still trying to figure out what just happened to his body, the rest of you started looting through the room, and you found 35,000 gold pieces worth of platinum. You found an assortment of diamonds worth up to 2,000 gold pieces. About 500 gold pieces worth of assorted gems, and a gold circlet with an emerald inside. You also saw an assortment of items that seem to have been collected across the plains, that for those, I believe it was Silex who had Detect Magic open at this point, noticed that they were all gleaming with magical essence. Not entirely sure what they were. He shoved them all into his bag of holding, and that's where we left off.
You also had papers.
You have a weapon.
That's right.
I don't know what the initials are. That ledger or whatever, like maybe exchanges of money or something?
Yeah, so not exchanges of money. You had ledgers that had the signature of Lord Cinderlin, but on them were the names of an assortment that Silex recognized as lords and higher members of society of Crete.
Probably bets or something.
Murder everybody else in the middle too.
Yeah, everyone's dead except.
I thought there was one left.
No, he was never there.
Right, that one wasn't, I'm just making sure. Make sure everyone was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys were able to kill Melbourne, Apathy, and Mira. Not kill Mira, but Sykar, the Dragonborn, was the one that was never there. They said he has a family that lives in Crete. That's usually where he goes to stay.
Melbourne was the one with the bond with Mira, correct?
Mhm.
Can I search his body for anything that would bind her? Because he was a rogue,
Mhm.
as far as I remember. So I don't know how he would bind such a high level spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. Investigation check.
That wasn't.
So am I like completely naked, with no fur, no nothing?
Well,
You look like an Egyptian cat. Yeah, you like kind of sift through his leathers, and he's kind of just wearing a like a tunic that he would wear to bed. So he doesn't really have any like pouches or anything on him right now, but you kind of look through and it doesn't look like there's anything physical on him to work as some sort of like
is there any
tuning
tattoos on him or anything?
on Melbourne. No.
All right.
Mm-mm.
I'll take anything of value.
Yeah,
Anything
it's kinda
anything of
tan skin.
interest is-
Again, he was sleeping. He doesn't have anything of value on him.
Can we, Sage already searched the office, can she search some of the rooms for anything else that might be in there that?
Yeah. So there was those 3 rooms you guys came or locked and then unlocked one at a time. Yeah, you can definitely search all the rooms. What are the rest of you guys doing? 13. Which room are you checking first?
I probably.
Left,
know
right, or
one
center?
about Whichever one Melbourne and Abernathy were in.
The right.
Where I would start.
Sure. So you go in there and you see a couple of bunks, but it doesn't seem like there's any sort of storage or nothing in this room really worth of value besides just a couple of throw pillows.
Is Detect Magic still on for me? Or are they casting
It,
again?
it goes for 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I'd say you probably need to re-up by this point since the initiative was over, you guys are now looting and kind of looking through, it's probably been over. Since you cast that at the bottom. before you
Yeah,
came
I will redo it and just kind of scan the whole area after they're done investigating,
Okay.
just to see if anything's magic.
Yeah, so at this point, the magical glow that you were seeing is for the most part kind of gone. What is the range?
30 feet.
Is there anything that blocks? the
Not that
detect
I'm
magic?
aware of, but I could.
Because I know like some of those like stone, lead, certain amount of feet of wood, or anything like that.
Usually it's like a foot of stone, 6
Mhm.
inches of metal, or.
Concentration of 10 minutes, presence of magic within 30 feet.
It was
The
concentration.
spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, and 3 feet of wood.
Yeah, so you're looking around and sort of the glow that you're used to seeing is pretty much all gone.
Okay.
You don't really see anything within 30 feet of you that resembles any sort of magical
Okay,
qualities.
so I'll just follow them around. I want to do an investigation check just to see if anything's magic.
Okay, I got you.
Sage is good, sorry, go ahead.
I was just taking a deep breath. I mean, I do want to say something, but go for it.
Okay, Sage is probably gonna turn to Cree and say, what do we need to do for your people? Get them safe.
We make sure that all
Yeah,
four
agree.
soldiers currently in this building.
I don't know if there's any, are there any cards left? We can put them in the cards.
I'm sure they love being put in cards.
Well, this time they're not in, they're not sleeped.
Like how you're arguing with this.
They are enchanted, like still asleep, right?
Yeah, Mercury goes in my head.
Yes.
They're still, they're drugged.
Yeah, and then we have.
That's right, drug. So should we just wait till they're awake and then like release the doves, so to speak?
Well, I mean, they could
Well, let's talk to them, see what they want to do.
be free.
But
There's honestly one of them. All right, your turn. Free.
we might want to check the
celebration.
front of the building first, though.
I mean, there's still,
Make sure there's no one out there.
there are 6 rooms down at the bottom, right?
There's the
Okay.
kitchen, there's 6 rooms, and then there's the foyer.
Yeah, one of those might be an armory as well.
Probably need to look
And
around.
supplies that they could use to then make a travel to. Did you tell us about the homeland?
No,
Okay, then make wherever they go.
plus I don't know if that's all they're all from.
Okay, well, we want to start maybe unlocking some of those rooms and checking on them to make sure someone's there. when
Yeah,
they wake up.
we definitely need
I'll check out that armory.
to. Surveillance building.
I would just like to double check that Melbourne and Abernathy are dead.
It's just a personal question.
Melbourne.
Well,
is-
I took Abernathy's head, so
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
Melbourne is absolutely dead.
Okay.
In front of you, Melbourne's decapitated head would tell you that he's also
Okay,
no
just want to double check.
longer living. If you're checking the pulse of the other guards, they're all
Yeah, I
dead.
just want to make sure everyone is dead before we leave.
do we want to wait on last dude to like take him out too?
Well, I mean, we're not leaving the building, so
We're just gonna go wait for the.
But we-
room. Yeah.
we're taking care of other things before we fight the stuff.
In the middle of everything, I'm just going to not stare daggers at, but I'm gonna keep looking occasionally at. My brain's totally fine. Benjamin, yeah. Just gotta remember a character from Game of Thrones. I'm looking at Benjamin every once in a while. Do I get my new found glory of Mercury here? I don't have detect good and evil, which I can take later. Do I get the sense that he is now an undead creature of some kind? Like looking back, does this seem like something? I don't think Mercury was cool with this because this is not a natural phenomenon.
Mhm.
Like I know people don't come back from the dead without a reason.
Yeah.
Especially considering the sapphire is huge now on his chest, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is it a real sapphire or is it just like,
It's a tattoo of
oh,
a sapphire.
okay, tattoo, okay.
Like, do you want me to make a check or do I just go weird and I can spell it later?
Let's make a religion check.
Yeah, it's really.
Oh,
That doesn't help at all because it's intelligence based.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. That one doesn't count because it's all good.
Oh.
Which is, you know, it's fine.
Mathematic.
Actually, that one will count because it's good. I wish.
What was it?
I'll take the second one because I said it.
What was the first one?
It was an 18. Yeah. But unfortunately, no, I have to take a 5.
A 5.
No, you're fine.
You've
A 9.
Oh,
you've seen
Well, that just changes everything.
I forgot about proficiency.
so you do not get the feeling that Mercule has given you any sort of
Introspective into the.
yeah, he's not giving you any sort of guidelines to what is and is not okay. So seeing this in front, it seems like to your initial insight that it's not okay, but you don't have any real reasoning behind it. Yeah.
That's just my own personal bias.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
You seem like if someone's gonna bring someone back, it should be by the hands of Mercule, not by
that is
Dragon.
his realm.
so do I still have like my weapons and stuff, or did I lose everything?
everything was disintegrated.
I have your boots because they're magical, unless they do disintegrate.
Everything on your body was
Oh,
disintegrated.
shit.
No, not the boots. The boots are magical.
Yeah,
So they
that's
don't
why I
disintegrate.
Everything not
You have my
magical.
boots. I look at you and I'm like,
You see me with like the
Because I noticed
are
that-
tied and they're thrown against my shoulder. and I'm like,
I'm sorry. Are
you
we?
keep peeking at me.
Huh?
Huh?
What's the news? Oh, you tell me?
I think, yeah, I think so, yeah. So that way
Do you wear clothes?
You have
Or is
any
it just fur?
Do you have any
clothes
boots?
on and like a boots like that?
No, I mean like just in normal, like, do you wear clothes though? I don't. Okay.
Just
Yeah, I had,
boots.
like leather armor and a hat.
You need to get him a hat, but just boots.
But yeah, now I'm just completely naked, but I see this guy peeking at me, checking me out, and I'm like, oh hey, you have my boots. Can I have my boots?
You feel a little naked?
I feel pretty naked, but
I can give you my loincloth, but then I would be naked. So
No, Terrence, you keep that, please.
I will say, I mean, you could take Melbourne's leather armor,
There you go.
or there's got armor somewhere in here, but
yeah, this
Probably is
armory.
pretty nice
I'm
armor.
gonna raid that armory and oh yeah, I can take Melbourne.
Benjamin, just because I think it would be fun for the story, can you roll a d20 for me?
Oh, no.
Do I add anything?
Nope, just tell me what it is.
14.
Yeah, you can definitely loot his armor. He's not wearing armor, so Melbourne's just wearing like a tunic. It's a little stabbed up now, a little bloodstained. He's just wearing kind of like,
a little slashy.
yeah, it's just like a tunic and just typical common pants, but nothing armored at the moment.
there's probably one here.
Yeah, you said there's an armory, so I'll take those clothes and just put them on, so I'm not completely naked.
Okay.
But then I'll not go there.
I'll press the dedication clear.
I reluctantly would like sorry, I thought you were gone. Hand you back the boots, thank you. You must be cold.
No, it's just small.
I was referring to the lack of fur. I do offer my old yellow robes if you want those. They're tattered and disarmed. But you
We have all the
with you,
clothes
have
from,
you?
what's your face? From back then.
You want one?
You want one of those clothes?
Sure.
You don't have that.
From Magnus?
Everything was taken from here.
Well, I already have this.
You
clothes
found
on
your
and my
you
boots,
found
and I'll
you
just-
found items up in the top, but you didn't find any clothing items. They were all like
I
magical. You found your bag of
should go
holding.
downstairs and see what else I have down there.
Yeah.
Free still doesn't have her cloak either. His cloak.
Was there anything magical in the 3 rooms?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm doing it.
I'm gonna go to the armory.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's all still upstairs and who's going downstairs?
I'm going downstairs.
You're
Is
going
the armory downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go
down,
down.
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 I think everyone.
I'm gonna go down and keep watch for the guy that's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, good call.
Is anyone staying up?
Who's upstairs? Anybody upstairs at all? I guess I'm downstairs. We looted everything over here. I mean, I was kind of distracted looking at him. So yeah, I'll just follow the rest of the
All right. So since you're following at the end, as you start to go down the stairs, you do hear a slight rustling from up where you just came from.
I would like to go slowly back up the stairs. Like, did I hear? Do I feel like it was like skittering on the floor above me?
It sounded like a thump and then kind of like something dragging.
Oh, there's something creepy hiding in the attic. Yeah, I guess I'll.
We don't hear this.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's
we're just
awesome.
walking down,
Yeah, I-
whatever.
I'll play D&D before. All right, you dick. I know. I'd be like, excuse me, anybody else hear that? I don't know who's latest in the line here, so I don't want to go by myself.
I'll stop.
I will recast Pact with it.
I'd say because of the order of who said they were going, I'd say most of you guys have already made your way down the stairs. Zinro was contemplating whether he wanted to go. Silence would probably be the last one because he was still collecting loot and checking for magic. So I'd say those two are the only ones that would be in earshot of each other. The rest of you've gone downstairs.
Okay.
Unless you want to like yell or run down the stairs.
No, I don't want to yell, just like, hey, do you have the, see if anybody's like at the stairs and I look
Yeah,
down.
silence looks back up at you.
But if
You guys checked everything up here?
I thought I did. Everyone appeared to be dead. Did you hear something?
You didn't hear that thud, like a scraping noise.
No, but that doesn't sound good. So I'm gonna do a big whistle, like, and then I'll make my way back up and sit up.
I will, when you did detect magic and you didn't see anything.
We
And
can
I'm
whistle
obviously
downstairs.
gonna go with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Benjamin's like,
it was basically meant for crew.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'll take a look. Could I, other than like directional, do I have any direction from where that came? up?
yeah, so if you're at the stairs, it's back where you guys
So
just.
behind that wall.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Close to where Mira had appeared and disappeared.
I guess I'll clear around the corner, knowing Silas is gonna come up soon,
Yeah, I'll be right behind her.
and take a look to see what I see on this side of this wall.
Is you make a perception check.
roll this one on the floor. Different. Yeah, perception's really good for me too. 24.
Okay, so yeah, you turn around, just kind of slightly peeking, and you see an elbow just kind of like
Right.
over and over itself, and you look and see the body of Master Sinduin with hardly clinging to life, crawling towards Melbourne.
I'm gonna walk over to him and kind of put my foot on his shoulder a little bit. Be like, oh, you've made it. I'm gonna wait for Salix to get here.
You see the same.
Is he to Melbourne yet?
He's like,
How-
yeah.
Are y'all not smashing this thing?
Don't let me touch.
I'm gonna stand in between them, so he can't touch Melbourne.
Mhm.
And then I want to bend down as far like Asian squat, so face to face. And then I have minor illusion. Can I minor illusion my face back to normal?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna minor illusion.
Before he does that real quick, how bad is he bleeding out within seconds of me? Like, do
Well,
I,
he's definitely bleeding out. Like he's definitely to meta at 1 HP.
Okay.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I don't actively do something to him now, is he gonna die? Okay, I just wanted it to be like, do I have to heal him to keep this conversation going?
No,
Um,
Benjamin rolled his final death saving throw.
Got it. Benjamin roll.
At 14. I rolled
Wow,
four.
the one time
rolled-
illusion.
Yeah, I rolled,
Yeah, you
I
actually
rolled
did.
4 behind the screen over here, and it was literally fail, pass, and then I was like, all right, you know what? I want someone else to roll the final one, and he did. So
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put him on his back then. That makes it easier. So I grab him, put him on his back, and as you do your thing.
I'm just sort of I want him to see my face. You know who I am?
no,
I wanna make my way up now.
possibly yeah. By this point, if they're like taking their time to do it, yeah, I'd say you probably make your way.
Do I pick him up? Creed gets to decide to do it.
He's gonna groan as you pick him up.
And this Creed, when Creed comes back up the stairs, I'll be like, you get to decide.
Are you facing him towards Cree or away?
Just kind of picking him up and wasn't
Okay.
facing him in the direction.
As he makes the best could be called eye contact in the direction of Cree. He's gonna kind of reach a finger out, like just kind of. Help.
I'm gonna slowly step forward, closer, until we're about this far with each other.
Mhm.
And then I guess, for, knowledge sake, like, what kind of relationship do I have with them?
Make an insight check. Not an insight, a history check.
Don't make it easy to get out.
Yes, that's important.
Your recollection of him was more of he was the one who not only kept you captive, but also was the one who set you free personally. He did. But your years since have kind of clouded your memory and to protect your own mind from what happened there. So it's hard to remember exactly like your connection to Sinduin, but more of this place with distaste. But Sinduin, you don't really remember. When you look at him, you don't feel the sense of hate that you do for this place. And as he stretches his arm out and says, "Help me," there is a small piece of softness in your heart for him because he is the one who set you free.
So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get this close and see this person so far away. I'm gonna say, why do you deserve to be free? Why should I save you?
I saved you.
all those years ago, you were lost, forced to fight. I took over this fortress. You were the best. Now, it seems you've come to finish the job you started. Save me, and I'll leave this place forever.
I'm gonna grab his face.
No, I get it. Just finish it.
And I'm gonna look at the blood on it. And I'm gonna slightly squeeze. Not hard enough to actually hurt him, just a little tissue. Say G. But my brothers and sisters are still trapped. Like this most inhumane torture. Arena. Search for their pain. Over and over again. And so I'm gonna look to you and I'm gonna say, I want you to heal him just a little bit. So heal him.
I'll, before I do so, I'm all for making sure that people get their just deserves. Torture is not the best way to do that. I can send him to my lord. I can send him to my lord if you wish, and I can make it very painful if that is your desire.
You cannot come back. Can you promise me that?
I've come back. I don't know if that's possible for other people, and I saw Benjamin come back.
It would take a higher power
I
than
know,
normal.
but I don't want him to send it to his God, and the God send it back.
You hear a struggled breath.
If you think I'm responsible for this place, and that I'm the head of the snake, you have not used your freedom to gain knowledge, Green.
Then who is? Who's in charge of all of us?
He's gonna kind of make a soft look over to the right out the window of his estate towards the metropolis that is Venovia. Say,
I just have the house. I make sure that your brothers and sisters have a way to earn freedom so that they're not just forced to die. If it was up to them, it would just be slaughter.
You have to report to somebody. Who do you report to? Who do you work for?
For the people in power, with riches, who will pay for my service.
You guys love it.
I have it in my hands and you kind of see me pull it out. What the people want, the people get. I think Cinderwin is providing a service because of a necessity.
Take my riches. Take my house. I don't deserve it. Use it for good. Give me a second chance like I gave for you.
Second chance. I would take this all for myself. I would have died easily in those rings.
But you
really let me-
didn't. You never came close.
on my own effort. Enough of this. I'm done speaking to you. I'm just gonna snap his neck.
Damn!
Doesn't really require any roll. The effort is low.
Oh, I got it.
You just see Kree, those who are upstairs, you just see Kree kind of looking over at Zinro, looking back during this like amidst conversation, and Zinro's trying to convince her, to let Mercule essentially solve the torment of his soul. And as she says, I've had enough of this, looks back at Zinro for a second, just, then you look back and just see his like neck snap in your feathered hand, you just drop him. And his body, like a rag doll, just limps to the floor.
Is there anything on him at the end of that fire?
He was in his robe, so
Quick pat down, cool.
throw him into the flames. The flames kind of grow momentarily with a little bit of flicker of crimson red from his robe as the flames bellow up into the chimney.
Sage is gonna say, let's hope we can annul her into this.
She just made it up for that last question.
Yeah. But yeah, you see
When
it
there
in
was
his
a
body.
whistle, we turned
Oh,
around.
yeah, yeah.
and all of that, so.
But yeah.
Just
So,
gonna double check everyone once again.
Quick, I will say that the clergy has usually a more theatrical way of doing things, but I like that.
Just Kree feel some relief.
I'll roll for that. A little bit.
You have his ledger.
That's a little better.
Oh, yes, and I'm gonna take it, and actually, I don't, I think you said you might have mentioned some of these names, I'm gonna give you the ledger, the things that I have, which is, I have a ledger that has some of the signatures on them, and then it involves the currencies given to and fro, I guess, names of lords and creed, and it kind of gives you the idea, it looks like a betting line or something, of that nature for certain heads of,
So betting book.
yeah, kind of like a bookie, I guess.
Can I first page skim through the names?
Yeah, this
See if there's anything I like.
particular bundle of paper only has about 4 or 5 names, but with multiple betting lines.
Do you want me to roll, see if I remember?
I don't know if they were initials or if they were.
No, full names. They're like signatures.
My biggest worry here is that you may have helped your allies here agree today, but something tells me that Cinderwood is just a middleman to something that the group wants,
16.
I
I'd say
think
we,
we may be right.
I'd say we cut out plenty of middlemen today, and the more you cut out the middle, the top starts to fall.
True.
This
Hopefully.
this will be a long battle.
Hopefully it's a step in the right direction.
And I have a belief that my God sees all people that die, whether or not you wanted that to be what you
Yeah,
do.
not at this point. Take what I can get.
All
So we should go downstairs, find who's left in this building.
Mhm. You look at the ledger and you recognize a couple of the High Lords' names. You
Like
see,
the house name.
yeah, so you recognize the house names first. The actual first name's not as familiar, but you do recognize a Baldric Bunt, BUNTD.
What's it like being constantly able to get cozy? It's great.
Good
You
life.
see a Finn
What's it?
Alcreen.
Sometimes I'm warm.
That's spelled
That's not it.
ULVCREEN.
We're saying like WD.
Both
for a
Creed.
month. I could go for another, but I'm gonna be sweating.
And then Theodora Appleton. ABLETEN. And the final name is the most familiar to you as one of the generals of one of the Cretan armies. Sorry, losing the word. It's Sir Drexel of Yorn.
Yorn.
These are just bets they've placed or.
Mhm. These are names, and then it shows an assortment of bets anywhere from 300 gold pieces to 10,000 gold pieces.
You said Drexel.
They say
Sir Drexel of Yorn,
Do I know what battalion he is?
8th.
Is that fine?
Are you 8?
I don't remember.
I wrote 8 next to his, so if that's yours, then I need to change that.
Okay. Well, then, okay. If you didn't mean it to be mine, that's fine.
Let me see, hold on. I have your stuff pulled up.
Amongst the small talk, go back down
downstairs and just have Benjamin. How are you feeling?
I don't think so.
No, you were 4. You were 4.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, then I'll
Just came back
follow
from
them
the
back
dead.
downstairs.
Then feel great.
Yeah, the 8th Legion. And as you're looking at it, some of these are kind of older. They're not all from like this year or this month. And you do see Drexel had placed like 8,000, 4,000, 10,000 gold piece bets on Creek.
Yeah, what were you, a powerhouse? Were you,
He was
the
a-
one that was going around, are you not entertained?
There was a, if you guys remember, there was a small like ledger that, or like piece of paper on that same desk that's had Cree, and it was just like victory, 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 victory. Mhm.
Once you win.
Makes sense.
And you can relate.
I didn't say it, no.
Not a second chance. to do that somebody. It's a very.
There's actually a
small
lot of the
positive.
movie I was trying to think of for this situation. It's like, what Rome wants or something. There was like something in the movie that was that. I was trying to remember what that was to say to you, but basically, I think that he only did this because the city wants it.
Yeah.
As long as people want fighting and thrills and, betting on death, it's gonna last forever.
But there's plenty of people that don't want it.
No, I'm not saying they do or don't.
It can all be done without force.
So anyways, I'm gonna head downstairs and I'm gonna start looking up through the rooms.
Yeah.
See if they're starting to wake up.
They're not. It is still maybe 10:30 p.m. It's just late in the evening. From what Everett or Tiberius told you was that the effects of their meals usually weigh off in the morning.
You said it's 10:30 at night.
Yeah, so I'll keep the tech magic on as we check it out.
I'm curious because he did say that if we let him live, we could have this house. Who comes to check in on him? Is this going to remain vacant?
There's that Dragonborn guy.
I mean, we could burn it down. I've got no problem with that.
It was made of stone. I remember that.
I mean, there's gonna be burnable things, I've got shatter, that works.
Shatters after shatters.
I mean, we could employ guards, we could turn this into a place for us to retreat to.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
And I'm assuming there are documents up there that lead to the title of some kind.
It would be bad to have a stronghold to come back to, and we have the money to keep it now.
I would argue this isn't the safest stronghold to have,
Well,
Being-
it could be-
right next to a major city that we just destroyed a bunch of citizens of.
The one thing I hate about owning things is bureaucracy. So I'm sure we'd have to go back into town and let somebody know that we took over this.
I mean,
We just
they have illegal fighting pits, this would be bad to.
Well.
I don't- Were they illegal? I thought they were legal in Crete, just frowned upon.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
legal?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Frowned upon, I think is what he said, but legal still.
We could take over the fighting in the city and make it like people who volunteer to fight instead of forcing people to fight. The
We
owners.
initially got a look from crew, like, what do you mean take over? But then I calmed down. Like, instead of a cat, I was a bird.
All right, so what's downstairs?
Downstairs, there is 5 rooms filled with sleeping, snoring Aarakocra. The 6th room is the Armory. It's essentially an assortment of somewhat blunt blades, spears, shields. You can tell this is where they would get their weapons for the fights. In the open area between where all the rooms are, like in the hallway, there is the open sand pits. There's 2 of them. Each pit about 15 feet in full all the way across. And then in the far back is where the kitchens are. What are you looking for? Or are you just waiting until the
Well-
morning?
My vote is we check the armory and then we take turns and maybe just get some rest before the morning.
As we're making the way to the armory, can we see in the room with the air cover?
Mhm.
Or is every room, in every room is every single air cover out?
Mhm.
So they're all asleep?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to see if there's anybody in those rooms with the air carcra, and then if not, then go to the other.
It is all bunch of birdies out cold.
I'd like to keep guard at the door still.
Which
I'm
door?
still worried about this guy that's missing. So
Which door?
the front door. I'll even sit on the porch or patio or like steps.
Okay. Yeah, so you have Zaris keep an eye out at the front door for the potential return of Sycar. The rest of you, what are you doing?
We go grab a sword from the armory.
Yeah, you try to find the most non-blunt,
Probably get some armor.
well-balanced.
These aren't gonna be the best weapons.
Yeah, take all those dead bodies outside.
Here, I'll give you.
Just dump them out.
Well, I think about burying them, but at the same time, I figure probably burning them is better, easier for me. And we'll do a little prayer, I guess, be like, I don't know if these belong to you, but maybe they can seek your salvation.
I'm gonna go find some.
Okay. Yeah, you find me dragging the last body, I guess, out of this particular place. I don't know how many there were. There were quite a few of them.
Okay.
Oh. And
A few of them.
Is there anything of interest in the armor?
Nothing for you guys. I mean,
Okay.
unless you didn't have a weapon, everything you guys currently have is going to be better.
I need the clothes.
How many? Sorry.
Sorry, what?
Which one of my clothes?
In your clothes? Yeah, so as you guys start to really take the time to look around, after honestly not too long of looking, you do find upstairs in this kind of separated wardrobe, where he keeps a lot of different clothing, because he has a few of these wardrobes. So you look through and
Oh, okay.
in one of them he has both of your pretty much all of your clothes that you had. Seems like he sifts through and finds the nicest stuff to try to sell or keep for himself, and the rest just gets discarded.
If anything nice in there, I will stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean there's a couple of nice hats, cloaks.
Anything and everything.
Mhm.
And then I do want to do an inventory of the armory so we can give them to the air carcra as they leave.
Okay. Yeah, so there's about 12 swords.
I took one of those just so I had something.
There's 11 swords.
Yeah.
There's 8 circular shields.
Mhm.
And there is 9 spears.
She's already told how many aircraft, not including this, of course, first are.
So each room holds about 25 to 30 Aarakocra, and there's 5 rooms. So
125.
yeah, definitely well over 100 Aarakocra in this house right now.
Is there any raw materials in this armory, like leather straps or anything like that?
It's really just a barracks. So as you
Okay.
walk in, you see the swords leaned up against the spears leaned up. It's
Okay.
not like an armory that is built for a militia. It's
Then I would like to check the kitchen for supplies for them. Like,
for the Aarakocra.
yes, food
What-
that isn't poisoned.
You wouldn't know the difference. So you do see,
flying around. But
yeah, you do see different assortments of bread and some fruits that they keep on hand overnight. Most of their ingredients, since they are so close to the city, get brought in.
I think I have purified.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we have.
Yeah, purified.
I don't have it prepared.
Just use the words.
Right here.
You should write it
I
in
would
there.
talk us in now.
Yeah, I figured we were gonna let them do all the looting.
Yeah.
And then we can get to that part.
Y'all keep going stuff because I have my guns.
You're gonna
Can I-
purify it with guns.
Yeah. I would
Be
like to
clean, water.
purify. Move all the food into a 5-foot square position it has to be, and then purify it all.
Easy
So
enough.
no
It takes
one
you-
poisoned.
Takes you 15-20 minutes to do that, but yeah, you can do that.
Sounds good.
So now it'll all be good. In total, probably about 50 or so rations.
We explored everything in the house at this point. Okay.
It's not a huge, it's not like a mansion. It's just like it's a nicer house than most of you guys are used to. So it's
Okay.
I figured that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna step outside and just take a look at the grounds, make sure there's no one outside.
you see two more fuck. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, the outside, I mean, at this point, the city is, for the most part, kind of dying down. So you look out and you see the occasional torch fire, but inside it's like in the house area, it's just quiet. You guys are close enough to the city that you can hear kind of mumbling of like yelling and laughing from some of the different taverns, because it is like a metropolis. It's like about the same size as Spindlewind in total. And so it's a pretty big city, but from where you guys are out, you're probably about half a mile away from the actual city walls. So it's far enough that you can see and kind of hear when people get a little rowdy, but it's still close enough but it's far enough away that it's still pretty quiet where you are.
All the stores in the city are probably closed right now, right?
You wouldn't know, but you would assume so.
I wonder if I should like go try to steal some shit.
This
just
house,
got-
is it just like a house
Got
on a hill by
resurrected from
itself?
the dead.
So there's like road, this house, and then nothing for another mile and a half? or another
Just
half
about,
mile?
yeah. I mean, there's
Okay.
between here and the city, you do see the occasional like house or construction of some sort of like buildings, but it's not like you're in the middle of a neighborhood where there's a bunch of
Yeah, okay, so it's just kind of like, it literally is just a house on a hill. Okay. Alright.
Wasn't the game supposed to start tomorrow morning?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, so people are coming.
Mhm.
Oh. Yeah, reminder.
Sounds exciting.
I was outside.
which bodies.
The
dead ones?
Yeah, the dead ones, obviously.
Well, you could be dragging Eric Hawker out.
That's true. No,
So-
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to, I guess, the backside away from the city, not that it matters, a little bit about the burdens. But, and whatever kind of random firewood or logs I can find, and kind of do like a little kind of crappy pyre, I guess, in a way of all these bodies. And on the top of them, I will put one of my little skulls on the top and just be like, and I guess whenever you like to show up.
I'd probably come out either praying or whatever, so I'm gonna sit down, cross-legged, and let you finish.
Great. Yeah, I guess without really noticing you, I'm just gonna be like, I'll see what I said earlier. Well, I don't know if any of these were children of you, most likely not. But if you could guide them, regardless of their faults, death takes us all. And I will try to do like make a torch or something and set them ablaze.
Yeah. So you build your pyre, and you get kind of as many of the bodies as you can, because there's the four that were in that right room, and then there was another like five
there's quite a few.
in the middle. So it's quite a lot. So it takes you a good part of a couple hours to drag them all down, build this fire, lean them up against, and set a flame. But definitely make that happen.
Yeah, and I just take a few moments, and while looking into the fire, I guess I'm thinking about them, but then I'm also thinking about like my body feels cold a little bit, because I imagine thinking about where Armory's at, and I don't know what my next step is at the moment, but I think about what my next spell in the morning whenever I wake up is going to be, which will be divination when I get to it. But excuse me. Sorry. I didn't notice you were there. I hope you don't have any issues. Figured we probably don't need them laying around. Dead bodies tend to smell.
Oh, well, and
With my ocean breeze scent that I've got going on.
Yeah.
That's true.
we couldn't have touched people now, I know, just kind of brings this in.
Yeah.
Actually, when I talked to his around, I had an encounter with someone in the woods the other night.
I was gonna say, who all knew about that? Me speaking. So I know, like, I thought you said multiple people. You talked to somebody, is that?
I asked if they heard.
I would look for somebody, but I didn't
He
see
went to
anybody.
see me,
You
and
went
I
there.
went off by myself and once. I
Um,
didn't tell any, well, I might have mentioned, it, did I mention to you?
About working?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. I
well,
mentioned
she
it to
doesn't
you.
know. Oh, I guess you did have the
We have-
exchange.
Yeah.
You have the coin and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I'll be like, oh, from the woods.
Yes.
Must forgive me, I'm not too familiar with the wood kind of. I worked in a lumber mill when I was younger, but
It is not a wooden creature.
oh, what are your deities faithful, your people?
No. I think he was yours.
What made you think? What makes you think that?
Well, when I went to the woods, everything became quiet. There was no sound of it. I saw birds move from tree to tree, didn't hear them chirping. And I saw this tree transform into a man. Kind of man thing. He had a cloak over his head. And his like jaw was like bone. He gave me a coin and told me to put it on a skull.
Well,
And then he was gone.
it's a lot of information to take in all. I'm assuming the figure was heavily hooded, shrouded.
Yes.
Does sound a little bit like him. The coin's a nice touch.
Mhm.
I didn't really have too much of a choice to some degree. What, do you have it with you?
I do. I'll give you a coin.
I look, it's this really heavy piece of like platinum.
Yeah. It feels a bit heavier than platinum pieces that you've held in your hand,
Right.
but you do recognize the sigil on the front.
And the other side of the back is
Okay.
maroon.
Flip it over.
I do. I like.
It's the same sigil.
Oh,
Yes, my question is, I know what this means for me. I'm gonna hand it back.
I'm gonna flip it over. Now, does it have one on that side and the other thing on that side?
It does not.
I'm gonna be like, someone will figure out, we'll be like, this had Luna on it the other night, and now it's gone. Now it's just the skull.
I cast detect magic to see if it's magical in the essence. Nope. It doesn't appear to have it on there now.
No, it's gone.
Interesting. I must be honest, Ray, and I have a certain limited amount of wisdom in this particular situation. I can't give you an answer. I do know that there was a moment where you and I brought together a brief moment of bringing people back to life. If you remember, you and I resurrected two individuals at the same time.
He said yes.
Now, I know how I feel when I'm reaching through the veil to bring someone back. It's almost like myself when Mercure did it to me. I don't know what it is that you're seeking for or what you're searching for.
No, I was looking for anything. I was just trying to help that person. All I was doing. I didn't think he was actually dead.
Well, the fact that you did what you did meant that
Yeah,
it was more than
he was dead.
the living. I'll tell you that much. Well, bodies start to burn, I guess, and smell. Step us a little bit back because it's gonna smell.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you really. I could give you more answers when I have more opportunities to question.
Do you know what he wants from me? Like why he comes to me? Was it because I did that spell? Or is it something else? Because I know you did tell me one time before when I was pregnant maybe, or someone else?
I will admit I was curious myself. The thing about Mercury is it's not heavily favored, as you can imagine. Very seldom are people going to pray to a being that they know is at the end of things. It's a lot like, you love to hate something, but when I was under Soul's Light, it was beneficial for a while because I knew I could see it. I could see the grains being made into bread, or I could see the waters flowing in the ocean and know that life was there. And I apologize, I can't give you a perspective as to what happens at the end of it, other than myself. I still don't know if death is different for everybody else. From what I saw, I'm no longer scared. I know what waits for me, my wife, and an eternal servitude that I have been thrusted into, which I'm okay with. I'll say this, I don't think he's going to be jealous if you decide not to go into his service. But if I would say, like all religions I've come across, meditation and prayer to him may give you more answers than somebody else who just happens to be following the same path. That's good. I went to the city of Jaru, which is a pilgrimage for those of Soul's Light. I swear I could find answers where others couldn't. I was just as lost as others were that could find answers where they could before me. There's people there who spent their whole entire lives. I once knew a fellow in his 80s or 90s. He was close to death, human, not like me or you. He was still seeking. Couldn't imagine spending so much time without answers. But it's up for you and Mercury to decide. I have very little. I apologize.
Well, that's okay. I just, thanks for your effort. I was going to talk to you because I know you connected, so.
And I think it's good for me. I spent so much time worrying about life that when death finally presented itself, I wanted to know. And now I have a certain respect for it. Even in my enemies, those who maybe tried to kill us, I point towards some of the lies. I know at the end we are all equal. Makes me feel better.
Well, thank you for your advice. I will go and meditate on this and figure out what path is for me.
Don't be a stranger if you need help. I may have questions for you if you get something worth noting.
Well, by all means, I'm constantly.
Yeah.
Figure something out together.
To be honest, I'm a little new at this. I've been thinking these things. Just seems like the right thing to do.
Oh, would you? I'm just kidding.
You do have that coin.
I do have a-
She plucks a skull out of the fire.
No, but it's heavy.
Very happy. I was surprised that he told me to book it. I just kind of did a coin toss there and landed.
Just out of curiosity, looking up, is there like moonlight out or
Mhm.
anything like that? I just kind of look over the moon.
I think you'll be okay either way.
And much to think about. Well, I will let you get finished what you're doing. Thank you for your time.
And I think in our conversation, a good amount of damage has been done. I'll just kind of spend a few moments if she leaves and then follow after her. I don't think there's really much left to see here.
Okay.
Is the pyre in the backyard, the front yard?
It's in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit ways away, so it's not, so like I just, as long as there's no brush fire starting, I'm gonna feel free to walk away. Should I watch it? Is there a chance of? I will stay. I will stay there until it gets to low embers, and I'll watch it. You know what? It actually is better fitting for me. I will stay until the job is done because you never know.
Mhm.
So I will stay there.
So one by one, as you sit and watch the bodies burn, you see just like this ethereal tether to each body. You just kind of see it, which the more that you're in this new undead state, pieces of you may fall apart, fall away, fade away. A lot of your senses, your taste, your smell have gone, but your sight and your intuition on these moments seem to get better and better. And one by one, as these bodies decay and shrivel into ash, you see this slight tether of etherealness just waving, and then it fades away. Now the rest of you inside, I know you just finished up in the kitchen. Vitra, what are you doing?
I don't really know what the dancing she would be doing. I mean, we've already looked around the house and whatnot.
Mhm.
Maybe just relaxing.
Are you,
Yeah.
where are you at in the house? Are you like following anyone around, you on your own?
I would have just stayed with probably the majority of the group if I was with Sage or something.
Okay. All right. Well then, Sage, what are you doing?
Well, I'm kind of taking Cree's lead on a lot of this because these are Cree's people, so,
What is Cree doing?
well.
Hey, so
No, no, no,
Cree,
no,
what are you
no.
doing?
I know I kind of put that
No,
on
sorry.
there too.
But I think that, after we kind of established if you're purifying the food and we're just kind of surveying,
I just finished making rations for them.
yeah, then I would say, I
Your little
probably
goodie bags.
would emphasize the same thing, that I really do think we need to get some rest. I also think we probably need to get up pretty early if they are
Definitely a
coming
few
in the morning,
hours.
and make sure that we can get them out the door and moving before everybody arrives, because otherwise we're gonna have another fight on our hands.
The carriages, were they pulled by horses? Were they pulled- So they're
Yeah.
stable here.
Not that you see. You also don't see any carriages anymore. Those were depleting as you arrived. There was only a
That's
couple
right, they
there.
left.
Yeah.
That's gonna take me
They're
first.
looking for more.
Yeah, you saw them go into the ones that were pulling out and leaving one by one. You kept seeing them kind of go towards the city. As you guys were on the hill scoping it out before you actually made a move, you saw the carts going towards the city.
I'm not worried about getting them out, if they can get in.
I was thinking about for us to take the horses.
Oh, yeah.
The smaller capital right now, we could make it our own city.
Yeah.
But,
Meantime,
yeah,
get rest.
what do y'all?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The burning bodies and stuff is gonna take me some time, so if anybody ever sees me other than Sage out there, you can,
Rain.
I'm sorry, Rain. I actually said R in my head and I went with the other one. And I'm like, damn it. But I really, yeah, if anybody other than Rain comes out there, I will offer first wash. Because it only takes me 4 hours to meditate my zombie state, so, yeah. So I was like, I could take first watch, the bodies are gonna burn for, sounds dark. For a few more, a little bit here, but.
I don't mind taking second then.
They said carrots, what was it, carrot?
So, sidebar?
Sidebar, was it Dragonborn?
Mhm.
Okay. So what's the time right now?
By this point, probably like close to shortly after midnight. It took a couple hours for him to get those bodies all put up and burning and
I'll take a rest, but then I wanna, when we wake up in the morning.
What time are you planning on getting up in the morning?
Probably 6 o'clock.
Do we have to call Zaris and make sure he gets on?
yeah, Zaris, what are you doing? You still waiting out by the front door?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I really want this Dragonborn dead, so.
Welcome to the party.
I was thinking about sneaking into town, but if it's already this late, I don't know if it's a good idea.
Plus, I don't know how far it's gonna be for you to get there, come back.
Yeah, it might take a while.
If we
I
stay
really
up,
do think-
if we just stay up,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna take one of these options. So you have to sleep like.
I'll take second if you want to come get me after a few hours.
I'll take first, and what is it? You said it was like a kind of semicircle driveway out in the front, more or less. I don't know if there's a main window or anything like that. Maybe I can pull up a chair. Does a window, do they have windows leading outside?
Yeah, the first floor has windows that aren't inside the doors. So like the front has like these nice constructed like concrete kind of view.
Actually, being that what this is with guards, I would imagine there's some way up top, right? Is there a way to get to the top level? Like a ladder that leads you up? Or is this roof kind of like angled and stuff?
Yeah, it's more like a house than a castle. So there's not like ballistas or anything for you to stand up on. I mean, it's just like
I'll just,
Yeah.
patio cigar,
Yeah,
bourbon, and I'll just sit out, with no ability to drink in and stuff, but I'll just, as long as it's not too cold, I probably wouldn't feel it with my robes. I'll actually sit outside.
it's very mild tempered here. This is like 60s in the nights, 80s in the days.
I find a chair just to sit outside in front of the doorway, because I like the idea of going through just a window and having to peek constantly, so I'll sit out towards the front in darkness, no light or anything, just kind of peering out and seeing if I see anything coming.
Sure. Anyone else doing anything before you go to bed?
Before I go to bed, I want to find a place where the moon is like shining bright.
Mhm.
I take my blanket and I'm just gonna sit there and meditate for a couple hours before I go to bed.
How many hours?
You need 8 hours of full
Yes,
rest.
okay.
No, you're half up.
Just have us-
You
Half
want
up
to
in
do
trance.
Oh,
Look through the trays.
I didn't know it was half. Could do that too. It's cool.
Part of our elvish heritage.
Sure.
The human heritage gets fuck all.
Like 2 hours.
Okay. All right. Anyone else doing anything before you go to bed? All right. Perfect.
I'm gonna fix my rifle.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna be on the porch with those two guys. This is
Oh, you're
getting-
not sleeping?
No, I'm gonna sleep out on the porch.
Got it.
I'm a cat. I can
Are you gonna just curl up?
Let's
like
take
that?
He's gonna be petting your weird
I'm gonna-
naked body right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
He was eyeballing
With
me.
that little bit of skin that gathers up, because when you go in the back like that. Have you ever seen a sphinx gather within it? Yeah, I mean, if Zaris is out there, then I guess maybe we could idly chit chat, but instead, I don't know how long you were gonna stay up, because I only need the 4. I don't know how long you need the 4 resties.
I mean, I need 8, but I could take a hit of fatigue and it won't affect me that much. So
I just Trey. It's just-
I don't care.
Yeah, cool. All right, man, whatever.
So you guys all kind of
Trish is chaotic. That's just-
you kind of fall into sleep. Most of you, rest really easily. Kree gets a good night's rest.
Sleeping in the very bed of the man you just killed. That'll make you sleep. I don't know.
Benjamin, as you finally fall to sleep on the porch, purring away, you kind of wake up into a dream state, where all around you it's not dark, it's not white, but it's this gray, almost like you're in a cloud. The precipitation, you kind of feel it in the air, that heavy humidity. You start to kind of look around and there's just emptiness. There's not really any texture or friction for you to grab on, but you just see the occasional lightning strike through the cloud around you. What do you do?
I just observe what's going on.
Do you try to move or speak?
I'll try to move.
So as you start to somewhat claw at the nothingness, there's more lightning in front of you, and each streak leaves behind the brightness that fades back to that gray, and it's bright flash of blue white back to the gray. And the more you try to almost swim in the air towards it, it doesn't seem to move. You don't seem to move. You seem to be stuck in place where you are. The precipitation starts to get heavier as rain drops all around you, and vertically it seems like there's nothing but walls of water, as it went from nothing to just dramatic large scale thunderstorm. And then the lightning strikes in front of you start to take the form of a scaled face. As the lightning becomes stagnant, it becomes like this static look of a face sort of kind of surveying around and fixates on you. And you just see the mouth open and speak to you. And you recognize the voice of Alcarante. She says, in a more humanoid voice than you heard before, you hear her say,
You're alive. Injun. But your life is mine. Injun. What will you do with it?
What do you want me to do with it?
I want you to bring me everything.
the lightning crackles around you. If you still had hair, it would be up.
You got goosebumps.
As you look down around your bare skin, you see that sapphire pulsating with energy on the center of your chest.
Want everything.
Everything.
It's pretty general.
There's a pause longer than there would normally be in a human to human conversation. There's moments that pass where you're waiting for her to speak. And you have these moments like, should I be saying something? Should I say something? And then you start to feel heavy all of a sudden. And you start to fall in this space of these clouds. But there's nothing below you. You're just this feeling of falling as you're in the clouds. As you fall, the face lowers with you. As you're almost matching the speed of the raindrops going down, everything starts to become still as you meet their tempo.
Bring me the soul, the touch, and the eye. For Orion's belt must be complete. Engine.
How do I find that?
And as she finishes speaking, the fizzle and the static of the electricity fades away, and suddenly you're falling now faster than the raindrops. And you break from the cloud just as you're falling, you see this snow-capped mountain range. Just beyond, you see this huge Arctic tundra. As you fall down, you look and you see the grass and cityscape of right before you hit, it looks something like Findlewind, and then and you guys see Benjamin kind of jerk awake for a moment on the porch.
Didn't think my humming was that loud.
You doing all right, Kitty?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's not too cold out there. I know you had fur before, but
I'm like lost in thought. I don't even like acknowledge what you said.
Do you need a warm glass of milk?
no, I think that's actually a common misconception. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Cat mom over here.
I mean, he just kind of like jarred awake. I mean, I would do an insight thing, but it's not like I knew how to make clues to me. It's obvious he awoke from some sort of like.
Yeah, and as he was actually, you and Zaris who were out there, just making idle chit chat, not really noticing the cat who was, in slumber. You do notice that as he was sleeping, he had a couple, as he, in your dream, you try to start running. You guys notice his feet. His paws just go.
Oh, he's dreaming.
I mean, 100%. I was. Oh.
What are we chasing?
And then the skin, which is now has these occasional like lightning, just kind of,
Yeah, that's weird.
and it starts to get more intense as he sleeps. Just before it wakes up, he's like his entire body just almost goes white and blue flash of lightning and wakes up.
Well, that definitely.
So how do you spell?
Al Carante, ALKARANTHE.
Mhm. And she said she wanted the soul.
The soul, the touch, and the eye.
Which,
Because Orion's belt must be. I love.
which I could swear the touch was the blade that your boy wanted that, but we don't know that. I don't know that.
I don't
But it's
know that.
pronounced William, as usual.
We know that.
Oh.
It's William.
Yeah, I nailed it.
It's a wheel.
Or they just fuck with me.
Alessio, I got it.
I-
Alessio,
Alessio.
Alessio, got it.
I really don't know.
Like, seriously, like, Liam, and you're like, what? I'm like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just like keep hearing Liam.
Wheel.
Are you, yeah, I mean, especially with the flash. Are you okay? It was one hell of a dream you just had. I don't know if you saw it. Rosaris and I just got blinded.
What did you see?
Sorry. Look, you. That's the worst part when it goes down the wrong pipe in front of other people.
Uh-huh.
And
When
then
you
you
try
just
to
like-
hold it.
Yeah. Is he
I see
dying?
what's going on.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we were just discussing minor things and you looked like you were struggling. And then just energy.
I'm supposed to go.
I was having a dream. I saw Al Caranta,
Karate.
Alcarante.
and
It's just your daughter, so.
yeah. And she told me to bring her the soul, the touch, and the eye, and said that Orion's belt must be completed.
Who's Orion and why does he need his belt?
Well, Orion,
Answer though.
a strong aficionado amongst you. Orion's
Well,
belt
the thing is, I was about to say, we've been told before.
Zaris, you know who Orion is.
Oh, okay.
You know what they all are.
Zaris,
We
you
don't
know.
know what the soul is.
We don't know the honor.
I mistakenly threw the eye into the ocean. We have.
Oh, it all comes back to us, yes.
I mean,
Zaris.
we knew that was gonna happen.
I forgot that was the honor.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, one second. Zaris, you know the name Orion because your patron Elias was spoken to by Orion when he first committed murder for the first time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's something I would know. Yeah. Mhm.
Blade was with Wheel.
And it's the touch.
And Mercurial's realm.
Mhm.
We don't know-
Mesmer's-
And Mesmer's
Sorry. Mesmer's realm, and we don't know what the soul is. So there's a third one we haven't.
It says the eye, the
Yeah, that's
touch,
what happens.
and the soul.
Yes.
I'm not sure if finishing something for Orion is a good idea.
I'm pretty sure I have to do this.
I mean, I'm not. Well, yeah, probably you do, but
Why would all corrupt they
I'm not
are?
about that.
I really want to be part of this, but I'm.
That's great, guys.
Okay, so this is really awkward. At some point in time, Benjamin, we knew where two of those things were. I think they're lost at the moment. So you may have to speak with Alcarante. However you do so, let her know that that might be a relatively impossible task.
Where were they?
One in a realm of uncertainty, a dream state, and then the other was cast away to the tides
What do you mean cast
Oh,
into the tides?
we're fine.
Thrown in the ocean?
Get me to an ocean, we'll talk to them.
We did have, yes, we thought it best maybe to lose it in a place where lots of things can get lost.
We.
I don't blame on silence. I
That's
didn't like the opinion, but I just.
Correct.
Do you know of any way to get to that realm or?
I don't know, I was never there.
Silence.
So
Anybody else?
You're gonna have fucking the National Treasure cruise.
I take a second to think as you ask that. I'm like, I don't know if any of us know how to get back there.
I do have a question, and I don't know if Zaris would know this answer, but player knowledge, that's where Fenrir went, right? That's what he was doing with Homegirl, was working with the Sons of Orion.
Wait, I'm sorry. That's where who went?
Freyr.
Fin, what, hold on. Freyr.
Where are you saying that's where they went though?
So he was going back. Didn't we know that he was going with yeah, these are all names that exist. And wasn't it to do something with the Sons of Orion? Isn't that why?
That's what we heard Zinro cast scrying on Freyr, and we heard Amalthea say, or Zinro relayed to us that he heard Amalthea say something about like you're here with Orion, or you're protected by Orion, or something.
He's lost the scent of Orion.
Yeah.
It's a lie, I forgot the
Or
specific
it is
language.
kind of
Yeah.
I for some reason remember the Sons of Orion. Now I don't know what that is, but is it like, are we making that connection of like
So.
somehow our paths are merging again?
Our DM's trying
Our
to say,
DM's trying to explain.
It's hard. It's hard because I want everyone to be able to speak, but I like that you guys are trying to remember. But if you don't remember what she had said, Amalthea during that scrying was talking to Freyr, and she did mention that you are the descendant of Orion, you are his son, and that you have his blood, is specifically what she said.
we can get
I'm
there.
just so excited to meet him.
Doesn't Amalthea have?
In my dream,
Trying to be very specific about what I say, because, you know, I've already lied to him, but he's not gonna inside check me. So.
wait a minute.
Yeah, everything's good.
You're doing
So real life, he did not insight.
Exactly.
check.
My charisma
Straight
check,
up like shameless, yeah.
yeah, my charisma check is so good.
Blood related?
No, but yeah, I mean, I recognize Orion. I failed my check, I think, the first time, but now that's come into it. Wait. The conversation.
I was also gonna say that in my dream, she was talking to me face to face, I was falling, and right before I woke up, I saw a snowy tundra and Finderwind. Does that ring a bell? Is that anything?
I mean,
When I
sounds
scribe
like-
Armory, she and Centria were both together and were very cold. When I spied Amalthea, she was walking in a frozen tundra, but why would they go back to Finderwind? I don't think Amalthea is relying on Finderwind's strengths, he's relying on Freyr's.
well, if Freyr is
We shall postpone this later.
You know what? Let's put a pin in this one.
I just see Sage waking up. This is what I have to say.
Good morning. So your dream.
She's just anxious all morning. She doesn't know why. Oh, I want to talk about.
Oh, boy, I have so much to say about something.
So,
I mean, it really does come down to that. Like we'll talk. I mean, I'm okay with talking, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm sure we should let the others know, but we do need a rest in case Psychon does show up with other individuals. As far as we know, there's supposed to be something here tomorrow or today.
I mean, we have time. I mean, even the travel to Findelwin will be enough to explain why we're going there.
Because we don't have my daughter's ship anymore.
We got lots of walking to do, buddy.
and both.
So I'm pretty slow, Sarah's.
I can carry you.
So is there anything else you guys need to talk about tonight before getting your rest?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so the rest of the night goes without a hitch. To the rest of the city's knowledge, nothing happened here tonight. So there wasn't anyone who escaped and called for help. You guys pretty much took care of everyone that could have done that. So the next morning comes and it's a beautiful day in Crete. Sun shining, perfect temperature, about 70 degrees as you guys wake up. You guys do hear, as you do wake up, you do hear the speech and kind of squawking sounds of Aarakocra waking up in the morning and speaking to one another.
Let's get them out the door.
We need to,
before
we need
people
to,
show up.
yeah, we need to get them out now, which is your job. So, I'm gonna follow through.
Yeah.
Is there anything you plan on saying to them as you release, door by door? Or are you gonna release
Do
them?
we have our hands full of packs and we're just handing them out like?
No,
cards?
so.
You're gonna do
Whatever
what?
crew wants to do this, is how we're doing this.
You're gonna wing it?
You picked it up, I didn't know. But, yeah, so I'm just moving downstairs, it's open the first door. Probably terrified.
No.
Normal, cool.
As they open the door, you get the idea that usually when they wake up, they get fed. So they get to the door and they see you and they're a bit confused, a little shell shocked as they see another Aarakocra.
I'm actually gonna try to be like, don't be scared. You were safe. I'm gonna gather all of you into the foyer
Mhm.
and we'll discuss further what's going on. So I'm gonna try to,
All
Export.
135 of them.
Yeah, you get it. They can fit. They're small. The Aarakocra are pretty tiny, so you get a lot of them. Some are kind of overflowing into kind of some of the other bedrooms, just kind of peeking out, and you guys see Cree kind of climb up onto the staircase a little bit, so he's a little taller, and I assume Silex is probably next to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna start like getting the packs and weapons ready for
Okay.
collecting.
So Silex is kind of thrown a bunch of that stuff into his like bag of holding, so he can just kind of hand it all out as he
Yeah.
goes. So the rest of you guys see this, I mean, for lack of a better word, herd army, right? It's like a huge group of Aarakocra, almost like an assembly. And Kree and Silex stand in front. Anything you'd like to say?
yeah, so I'm gonna ask them all to kind of gather around and say, I am giving your fates back to yourselves. You have your life back. You get to choose what you wish to do with it. If you want to stay here and avenge yourself, that is your choice. If you would like to go home, that is yours as well. At this point, you get to decide how you'd like to move forward. We are also wanting to avenge the fallen. We know people will be arriving today for the fights. We would like to fight to fight anybody that deserves, vengeance, words are great, right?
You hear
I'm not the smartest bird.
you hear like
guys.
a lone shout from the crowd. And who are you?
Kree, the slayer of men.
You hear the entire crowd kind of roar, Kree, 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 and they all start kind of stomping their feet on the ground as like they kind of burst into like this like cheering and clapping as they all like they're just in celebration. Every time you kind of say something, we're gonna get vengeance. You hear them like, whoa, and then at the very end you say your name and they start chanting in rhythm as you finish up your speech.
And so, yeah, pretty much we finish the speech. I'm gonna ask, I guess, kind of whoever wants to join me, please stay. For the rest of you, you're free to go about your lives. And then if there's any kind of, at this point, it's not so much a speech, but more like if there's any kind of leaders or anything like that, or come speak with me, we'll move forward. And so
You see the entire assembly. They don't move an inch.
Oh, shit.
They stare at you.
Okay.
Why do they do?
Okay, so, who's been here the longest? I mean, I'll explain that.
You see, he's kind of like this, slightly taller, like maybe an inch or two taller than some of the rest. Kind of step forward, and he kind of like bows to you.
Okay. You are
Joran,
Jordan. Okay. How long have you been here?
2 years.
2 years.
And Zinro would recognize the name Joran from some of the ledger sheets.
Okay.
It's definitely the favorite on a lot of the betting lines.
What I've seen,
Right.
there's quite a few fights.
Who has bet on him for today? Has anyone made any bets for
Yeah.
today?
Like, are you talking about
There's
for the
like-
birds or for the wealthy?
Well, has Drexel made a bet on Joran for today?
No bets are placed until they arrive.
Okay.
So there is not any money exchanged yet for these
Okay.
fights.
Typically around what time do they arrive?
Around 11 a.m. Remember we said that last time, just before it gets too hot in the day.
What time is it right now? What'd you say?
8, 9 a.m. pretty early. Sun's rose, but you had to wait until the spell effect takes off, which took 12 hours, so at least 8 a.m.
Are we
We need to
staying to fight? Or are we?
Oh, I'm gonna kill some motherfuckers, but, so, I
Or are we
mean,
just staying until the Dragonborn?
I just want to reiterate that I'm still watching for the Dragonborn,
yes.
even while all this is happening.
Okay, I hear you.
Because
So,
you're nodding off.
I need them to start eating, so I'm kind of wanting to like navigate and manage, like, okay, so we all go get fed for the meantime or
I
eat,
just,
get armed.
there's a. I guess me telling this decree that while we may want to eliminate whoever comes today, who we are eliminating, if anybody in that legend that I recognize comes today, we are eliminating high nobles of Crete. And while I get that, and I've done my fair share against Crete at the moment, we are next to the capital, where 100 Aarakocra with limited weapons and supplies will be slaughtered.
Well, they're gonna be slaughtered anyways.
That's what my suggestion is, that you get them out of here so that they can arm themselves properly to then have their country. This is not running away, this is retreating to fight another day.
Well, I want Gordon,
Joran.
Jordan to be here during the conversation. I'll look at it and say, what do y'all feel comfortable doing? Would you like to come fight for another day?
Or would you prefer to
Yeah.
go to your families, recuperate, arm, and then return? There's a difference in being prepared for the high nobles that come and battalions that may be here.
Every day we've been prepared to fight. Today is no different, but you are our saviors. If today we fight with you, then so be it. If tomorrow we fight, so be it. Tell us where to meet, we will be there.
Where are most of everybody from? Is this all over, or are we from a specific village?
Many places in Crete. There's a few safe places that we hear rumors of, but
Do you know of any place where Aarakocra would be willing to gather and recuperate and build?
I've heard there's a forest outside of Athena, where the
If
trees
we-
are topped with my kind.
If we could get them there, they could recuperate, or we could supply them, if this is what we are wanting to do.
Yeah.
But I do know that, and I'll show them the name Drexel of Yorn.
Not we.
He's a primus. He is like Frederick.
Like your dad.
He's like my dad. He will slaughter multiple of us if given the chance. And if we have, well, we are armed. I don't have enough.
R.I.P.
for everyone.
Arathi.
Huh?
I said R.I.P. erecting.
There is a difference between taking vengeance out of sheer emotion and then doing it properly. I don't want to see more of the people slaughter. That's all right. We could get them out of here. We have rations. They have weapons to defend themselves on the way to Athena. If you go the long way, y'all can fly. You
Yes.
know,
Would y'all be able to find your way there?
Of course.
well, is everyone here except Zeus?
Well, I mean, I was down there with you guys, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So you two were kind of up on the stairs giving a speech. The rest of you guys, I assume, were kind of filled in the space, like listening and being a part of it. But I don't think you were up on the staircase with them,
I know
unless you
some of
wanted to
the
be.
Birds are not getting food and all that.
Yeah, I mean, all while he's talking, I mean, you guys are handing out rations. I mean, we're just
Yeah.
assuming that stuff's happening. They're getting fed. Everyone's fine.
So. as
You have
long
a
as-
much larger force of birds who have a protected position within the forest.
Let's, I want to save as many lives as possible.
You stay.
And I mean, can I tell kind of the ages around here? Is there children? I mean, I was one.
Yeah, I was gonna say
When I
anywhere
brought
from
it.
1 to 4 is usually what
Yeah.
we're seeing here before they age out.
So, yeah, let's say, it's like, I don't want the children fighting. You know, technically they're adults, but.
And just as a reminder, you said whenever he asked what is your name, you said create a slayer of men. Is that what you said? Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna just kind of nod along as you guys are making plans,
Okay.
seeming to agree with whatever you said.
So yes, for the most part, let's get everyone out of here and we will.
Do I have a map that I can pull out?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, throughout the house, I'm sure you can find
Okay,
the map.
I want to show Jordan. Jordan, can you get to what I have 20 weapons? I think I have 21 weapons.
Mhm.
Can you get 21 of your most capable? And I mean, the most victories. I know that sounds harsh, but you need the best fighters to be armed. They will take the arms, and I'm going to draw a route you can take to Athena's forest. I don't know where in the forest,
Mhm.
but Athena's forest. This is where Athena's forest is. This would probably be the safest route for y'all to fly.
You'll take it and
And,
kind of nod along.
And I'll give them that map. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't need it, that's fine. And there's rations for, I don't know how long.
You
it'll
only
take,
want
but-
20 of us to go.
No, you will all go, but 20 of you will be armed with weapons to defend the group. To try and get as many people there as possible to help that civilization.
Of course.
We will come later when you're ready, prepared. In the meantime, continue training your men, providing for them, feeding, grabbing weapons. And eventually.
But they will come.
He's gonna kind of bow to each of you. He's gonna take the hand of Kree and just kind of like place his like head up against the back of your hand, and then turn and say to the rest of the group, "All hail, Kree, the Slayer of Men!" And everyone bursts into cheers again. And he's gonna say, "Follow me. We will go to safety." And then he's gonna just kind of fly above them, over the crowd, and kind of swoop through the door. And then you see them all kind of pile out quickly. And then, like Trey said earlier, almost like a release of doves. You just see like the flapping and like this large flock of birds.
I'm seeing the
Heading
monkeys
north.
from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swarm of airplanes.
Yeah. So yeah, they all take flight, and the sky for just a brief moment becomes less bright as this shade of, or the shadow effect of these birds crossing over the city take flight, and Kree and everyone can kind of watch them fly north over the city, to where Athena is.
I'm gonna turn and just say, there's a very good chance that we're not the only people that saw that, so we probably need to get back here.
I would say there's more than a good chance.
Yeah.
Do you want to take care of characters or do you want to leave? Sidecar, sorry. I don't like
There's
using
a
characters.
sidecar. in it.
Sidecar. I'm bad at names, Liam, you know.
That's right.
You did it on purpose.
Actually, I really thought it was William at first. but
No,
it's Bunty, so.
I'm concerned at this point that if he knows that all the or if he saw all the Aarakocra just leave, he's not gonna come alone.
Okay, so do we want to head into the city?
I mean, I'm excited for him not to come alone.
Fair.
We have something very important to
We
discuss,
need
but
to-
we need to decide now what we're doing here.
If we go to the city, we can get horses. Horses travel faster than feet to get to wherever Armory is, which is our next goal. So we need some form of transportation.
Well, some events transpired last night that might change that a little bit on how expedient we are to getting to her location.
Okay,
Elaborate.
do we want to talk inside?
We may have to take care of this.
You guys are all inside.
Oh, okay,
Remember that thing you threw out?
the gem, yes.
You remember it was called the Eye? I think we came
Yeah.
across it.
Okay,
We threw
And
it in
one
action.
had a sword called the Touch. One point toward Benjamin.
Alcrantia.
Alcrante.
Alcrante.
Oh, Shantae.
Appeared to me in a dream, and she told me that I have to give her the soul, the touch, and the eye to complete Orion's spells. And
That's the same thing Amalthea said. Something about Orion.
She
Right.
said that Freya was the son and descendant of Orion.
so I doubt we want to give him the power.
So, yeah,
But
do we really?
I thought the soul, the eye, and the three items related to Mezcal, not Orion.
Maybe Mescal's in on Orion.
There's a good chance that they're related. I mean, Orion was the one that led to the first murder, so it wouldn't be far to guess that he did some other meddly things.
You called Orion evil. You said Orion was evil, right?
I mean-
Sarah?
Yeah, 100%. He led to the first murder.
Well, I would argue that Mescal's pretty damn evil, so I'm sure they're.
I mean,
somehow-
More of a
I would agree.
question of Ombre is more pressing matter. The search for either of those items is,
Well, Amalthea took Ombre.
did they, are they there? I know you
So
messaged
it's all
them, but you
connected.
described.
Yeah, I
know,
agree, that
I
needs to
did,
come
I did,
first.
so I was told.
God damn it, Creed.
Yeah,
These birds are ridiculous.
yeah, there's just bird poop everywhere in this room.
Oh, they definitely dropped all over the city.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, not on my new chariot. Anyway, yes, I do believe that Amalthea has taken both Ombre and Centria. And
Are you able to scry to verify that location?
I could find out where they're at now in Scry, yes. But I do believe that's where they were.
Okay.
I can't for sure say this, but there was other parts of your dream.
yeah, she was talking to me as we were falling through rain, and right before I hit the ground, I saw a snowy tundra and Finland.
There's a mountain range behind Finland.
Okay, so Featherwood would be our next goal, but we need transportation.
I have
to get
an idea. I think we need to try and get in touch with Meryl. That's the guy that drives the ship, the friends.
Oh, yes, the
Maybe
smart.
he can tell us, maybe he can tell us where the ship is, or maybe he knows who took it.
My fear is if those two have been captured, the more powerful on that boat.
Maybe they weren't with the boat, is what I'm saying.
It's a good point.
I
So,
mean, we know that they do a lot of traveling and diplomacy, and we know that Meryl stays with the ship, so it's worth a shot at least to try and get in touch with him.
I do keep sending, as it's always a useful start, so I can do that. But do we want to leave this place
We
first?
need to get out of here first. Yeah.
What keeps them from utilizing this place while we're gone?
I don't know if leaving right now is the best bet. I mean, it's gonna take us time to go anywhere. If you want to do sending and talk while we wait for homie Dragonborn, you know, but it's not. I think we've defeated the biggest threat of this little entourage. So even if he brings like an army, they won't be much for us.
We have.
Says the guy who's like tired.
That's the thing, right? They may have seen airport going. But there's still the possibility that Sakura will come by himself. Or that we can, if we see a massive group approaching, we can make our way out the way we came in. And then we just find an empty building.
That's actually, yeah.
So at the moment, because Cree is right, someone could use this place again and it just becomes a house.
Yeah.
But, you know, if we can't, no one really has the power to destroy it at the moment.
Yeah.
You ready to make a wrecking ball?
I could turn into a bullet again, just fuck some shit up.
I mean, we could. I have shatter.
Yeah. it works
Some
there.
great pillars in here. Smack those with some shatters. You know what I'm saying? Just
But we can make our way out the way we came in, and we can blow the entrance off that if we can't open
Did you
it.
just arcane lock everything? No?
Well, there's like a big open foyer, right?
Mhm.
I mean, someone just climb the walls and get in, so it doesn't really make a point to lock the doors, I guess. But, right? I mean, the way I always imagined it was kind of like a very Greek, like a big open middle courtyard.
Yeah, the courtyard in the middle is definitely open to the air, but they would have to still climb over the walls of the home to get there. So it's not like it's,
It wouldn't be easy, but it wouldn't be
Yeah.
difficult either. is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
they could definitely do it.
Yeah, so there's no really point in me locking, because I thought about it, there's no point in me locking doors if they're gonna just climb the walls and get in anyways.
You also,
And
don't
Sycar's a
know-
magician.
yeah,
or
yeah,
a-
you also
a
don't know
magic user of some kind.
who would all come with them if they could just, yeah.
So,
Okay, just put a side door, closed.
Yeah, he has multiple rabbits and multiple.
Yeah.
so,
That's fine.
I think that's a good idea. I just think we gotta, and then we can
Make a choice because we're running out of time.
I can fly up and stay up there, keep an eye on who's coming down the road. I'm assuming there's one road to us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's the
so-
same road you guys were on earlier.
Yeah, so I'll keep an eye out. with my little- And then y'all can do what you need to down there.
can we look down the road, is anybody coming now?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Can I see a stable from where we are? At the edge of the city, that's where the
Uh,
stable is.
Perception check with disadvantage. I'm
Okay.
trying to see that far.
I rolled one. I'm someone of them, so no.
No, it's all too fuzzy from that far away.
Who's the quickest of us?
I'm probably pretty quick.
Benji.
Oh, he's good, he's probably pretty quick.
How long would it take to get to?
Are you
the city?
asking who's quickest as the monk?
I said, I'm probably the quickest,
And
and then he
he
said
said Benji.
Benjamin,
Yeah,
so I
he's
said,
pretty
okay.
good.
I also meant the
No, no, no.
sneakiest in my head, I just didn't
Oh,
say that.
sneaky is probably not.
I'm
I
about to
don't know,
say,
I have
your,
plus 9 to
your
myself.
speed is,
Oh, okay.
your speed is 45. You should.
Oh, Jesus. All
Who's
right.
quickest?
I said me.
Yeah, but you're flying, you're in airport now, so that's not beneficial.
I'm not.
While this is
beneficial.
happening, I will send a message to Meryl.
Okay.
FYI.
Do you think you could run to the city
I have exactly
and find a
25
stable and get horses for us?
I can try.
Would you
And
be
I can
willing
send
to
it
do
out
that?
if you-
Yeah, yeah. I would
Okay.
do that.
I'll keep an eye on you, obviously, tonight. I'm gonna fly up now, and I'm just gonna keep constant.
I'm gonna give her like 2,000 gold. And
Like a horse for each of us, a horse for.
horse for each of us,
As many as you can.
as many as you can,
Remember, me and Sage can turn into horses if need be.
if need be, but if you get as many horses as you can, or horses and carts, whatever you can
Something
get to
to
get us to travel.
Go.
Okay. So, yeah,
Benjamin, if you want to go with her,
That's
so
fine.
she's not alone.
Sure, I'll go with it.
yeah. So you see Vitra and I guess Benjen also.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
So
Sure, yeah.
Vitra and Benjen take off in a sprint. It would take you about, I mean, honestly, 4 or 5 minutes to get
Okay.
there. I mean, full sprint. Yeah, it's only about a half mile away. So yeah, you can get there pretty quickly. While they take off, the rest of you, I assume, are just kind of lounging around, shooting shit.
Keep it on.
Keep an
Yeah.
eye, but
Pretty much, we're all just picked a window and we're just like,
yeah. Yes.
You're like, we're all guilty of something. And so-
We're all just
But
separate-
I actually feel like I'd be sitting next to Zinro like.
separately conjuring every window. Like, see,
I'll be next to them.
yeah, before I send the message real quick, I'd be like, I don't know what happened with Benjamin last night, but he was very strange. So just keep.
Sounds
an eye.
like paths are gonna converge on all of this anyway, but if anything too, maybe I can talk to Omo about. I'm gonna go, oh no, you're gone.
Yeah.
I'm just saying about where that eye went.
And also, just an FYI, like he says it, he asked if I knew anything about those items, and I lied initially. So,
well.
but he was there in the room and
Very
he heard me
dangerous
say it. So
thing.
you just,
Thank you.
So he's aware that I lied to him. That may not go so well later on. But I do send a message to Merrill. I say exactly 25 words. Merrill, are you alive? Are you with the ship? Can you bring it to us and help save Armory? Do you know who can? If he can't, basically. That's it. I fear.
After a few moments, anticipating getting a response, you don't hear anything.
Fuck.
I'm getting nothing back, and I fear that
I know that
members of the ship may not be around.
I know that sending only works on conscious people, so can you
The dead are unconscious.
speak with your Dave? And ask if this person's.
I
passing
did.
grass?
I did prepare, well, I can ritual cast, I don't have to prepare ritual cast as spells, do I? No. I can do divination as a ritual and I can get one answer. Or I can do commune, which is another ritual, and get 3 yes or no's.
Mhm.
Those are heavy spell slots, so what do you?
I don't want you to use a super heavy spell slot, just.
Well, if he's
I mean,
ritual
if
casting,
you feel up for
If
it.
I'm ritual casting, it doesn't use a spell slot.
Oh,
I was trying to think more like
Just
just
takes
takes
a
prepare it, so I could do it. I don't wanna like delve, I don't wanna keep asking questions. That's on my aspect of it.
No,
If I
that's
reach
fine.
out, I only want to reach out every once in a while, so I can get one complete answer or 3 yes and no's. So if we want to ask the yes and no's, we can do that.
hey, old murky Erky, it's
Yeah.
a long time no talk.
I mean,
Do you have anything other to ask him than is Merrill dead?
well,
Well, we could see if we can, is the ship still in existence? Maybe it was destroyed.
or maybe he can tell us what it is if we get one full answer.
I could do that, but that would only be the one answer. We could,
If we have the ship, we can, and we know about the, I
guess like the whole reason that we're trying to talk to Merrill is to get access to the ship.
so that we
So I
can
mean-
get to.
well, it says here, give one answer to a question about a goal, event, or activity. Does the location of a ship meet that criteria?
Well, if
Getting to the
if they
ship.
were on the ship, the event was that they went on the ship, killed everybody and took Armory and Centria.
Like, did they take the
Well,
ship
then, yeah, we're
with
looking
them?
for the ship, and that's our goal.
Yeah,
Can you
that's
tell
our
us
goal.
where
Right.
it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, I'll do that one.
Yeah.
And then I will do another, I will go ahead and use the 5th after, I feel like I bust through these spells wherever I wake up, but at the same time. it's very
Good
fun.
morning.
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't have to worry about that one because I'm still ritual cast. So what I do have to do for sending.
We need to
Yeah.
let you sleep while we travel with you.
Well,
The
yeah, I
rest
just
of us
woke
will
up.
stay awake.
But I also can do scrying if we want to be confident of there. I still think they're alive. I think if this is how I gain that, I think if Aubrey died, I probably would have gotten some sort of weird feeling. I just feel like, who knows? I don't know if that's for sure. So yeah, I'll go ahead and ritual cast. It's going to take me just 10 minutes, 11 minutes to do that. So if we're moving somewhere, I need to know. Otherwise, we need to stay here.
I think we're ready.
You're waiting, I see.
So Cinder spends the next 11 minutes building his ritual to speak with Mercule. In this time, anyone else need to do anything, or should we just skip to all that stuff? You guys arrive at the stable, or actually you arrive at the gate to Phenovia, and this entire city is kind of built like one big metropolis surrounded by this super big stone circular wall that goes all the way around the city. So as you arrive, there's multiple entrances, and the entrance you go to seems a little stuffed up with just overall just congestion of people trying to enter the city, because guards have to kind of check through, make sure there's nothing super dangerous or taboo that you're bringing in. Do you guys want to wait in this line or try to find another area?
I guess we'll try to find a different entrance.
Like, are we not able
Well, he
to?
said we can either stay in this line and try to get in, or we can try to find a different.
Yeah, 2,000 pieces.
No question.
I mean, can we see any other entrances from this line?
Yeah, well, not from the line, but you can definitely see, as you guys were approaching, you saw like multiple entrances. Just this is the one that was closest to you.
Mhm.
So you have to go around. It might
So
take
do we
another
see
couple
another one
minutes
that's
to
like
get to them.
that's like-
Yeah.
Yeah, I said we go to another one that's maybe a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Even
So
if
yeah,
it takes us
you
a couple
guys
minutes.
veer off to the right a little bit, and after another couple minutes, you get to a gate that doesn't really have as much traffic. So it's not on the main road. And there's two guards that kind of look you up and down. Ask if you're. One of the guards kind of looks at Vitra. Just you don't see one of them every day. What's your business in the city?
We're looking for some horses to purchase or a cart if that were available.
Okay, and what about for you?
Same reason.
Same?
We're together.
Okay. What's
You
on
also don't see
cheap?
one of him every day.
What's-
Some naked cat.
In
With
this,
electricity going through.
You never
in
know.
this- in this area, you'd be surprised how many of these feline creatures are around.
But you're
Uh,
weird.
Yeah, but I'm the weird one. I am blue with horns.
We look so strange.
And your hair is
Honestly,
just.
these are the two weirdest people.
Well, if you want horses, what we recommend is maybe and he kind of peeks inside like to the city walls, and you just see like thousands of people kind of like going around like in colorful clothes, different shops and carts. Much busier than any city that you've typically seen. Maybe matches that of Fenderwind, but seems a little bit more intense. Just what I recommend is probably hug this wall here, all the way about halfway between this entrance and the main gate entrance. There's a small stable. Don't know how many horses they'll have, but if you're looking for, it's probably the best bet right now. It's usually a busy time of day when all the shops are setting up. So welcome to Crete.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you so
Just kind of
much.
let you guys in, and as you guys walk in, any kind of points over, and as you see now, like as you enter, you definitely see kind of this semicircle style like stable that has multiple horses kind of attached to different ropes thrown around. Seems to be where you want to go.
Yeah. Is there any like worker that seems to be over there, or is it just?
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's a couple of younger guys. It seems like the older man who seems to be running it, but a couple of young like stable like hands that are just helping out. One of them kind of peeks over one of the like the back of one of the horses and looks at you. Can we help you?
Yes. Are any of these horses for sale?
For purchase. For purchase! He yells back, and the older man kind of walks forward and says, "Thank you, Timothy. What can I help you with? For purchase, I've heard."
Yes.
When before I say anything to him, when we walked up, were we able to see like how many horses about?
There's like over a dozen.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yes, so we're looking to purchase 6. Do we want one for Crete? Did we decide?
Creating stage only one.
There's 5.
5 horses?
1, 2, 5.
What is
We're
this?
looking for
5
5
horses?
horses.
He's gonna look at the two of you and think,
We
not gonna say no to business. Anything in particular you're looking for? Or just my best mares?
Does he have an all white horse?
Time to get picky.
Most of
What
the
is that?
yeah. Most of the horses here are pretty marbled in color. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no shadow facts or anything like that, if that's what you're looking for. There is a couple that seem to be almost all black, but you can definitely tell that there's like streaks of like brown and kind of like auburn fur, but her hair a little more.
Yeah, I would say maybe your strongest horses, ones with maybe the most endurance.
Usually strongest and most endurance makes most expensive.
How much do those go for?
Oh, my best about 1,000 per horse.
1,000 euros? What about a average?
Well, it depends. If you came here looking for the best, why would you settle for less?
Recoup whatever.
Well, of course. We just had a price in mind at first. We
What's that?
didn't know. Well, obviously, there's only 2 of us and we're buying 5 horses. So we got the money given to us by a few friends who we're getting these horses for.
What's the price, dear?
We had 2,000 gold pieces. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
5 horses, 2,000 gold pieces.
I'm willing to throw in an extra 1,000. What can 3,000 get me?
It could get you 3 of my nicest horses, or it can get you 2 of my nicest horses, and 3 that are maybe not up to par, but wouldn't still get you around.
There's nothing in between. You either have less than par or superior.
You ask for me best.
I'm also now asking you what all you have.
He's gonna like look left and right and examine for yourself, lady.
If we got 3, we can have 2 per 2 people on tours.
You wear them out.
Yeah, Morrowgast, if we have a few-
When they can turn into horses, well, we're not there, so we can't. We're not there.
Keep your mouth shut, That's why I'm trying to do some business here.
Yeah, we don't have very many small people either.
I'm not there. Yep, Jesus Christ.
Hold on,
Zaris and I are both.
right.
What about the cards?
2 horses and then.
Do you sell any cards?
Or
Myself? I've never really had the need for it. Most people just need to rent or purchase horses.
Anybody sell cards around here?
I'm sure they do. There's lots of businesses around.
would you possibly know where they might be?
Over in this part of town, it's mainly just people selling little knickknacks and more touristy because it's right by the entrance. If you're looking for something constructed, probably more towards the inner city where the craftsmen and specific artisans do that. But I'm more than happy to sell you a few horses.
We appreciate your business. We're still in the market for some horses, but we want to see if we need horses for all of our group members, or if we could get away with a cart and a couple of your finest horses.
Be my guest. He kind of waves you away.
So we could
So
get,
I said we go and try and find a cart.
we could get 2 of his best horses for 2,000.
Right.
We have 1,000 left over for a card. That's is
3 of his best horses.
that what he said?
No.
He said,
No,
2.
he said for the 3,000, she was
For
willing
three-
to
I
offer
offered
for
another
her, get
1,000.
3, or you can get 2 good ones and 3 questionable.
Like normal horses.
Yeah. So I said we go to the inner city, see if we can find a cart for a decent price, and then, I don't know how much gold you have, but
35 gold pieces. I don't know.
right, you have nothing, it's fine. I'm sure.
Actually, I don't even have
Sally-
that.
Yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
that.
I have nothing.
I'm sure Sally would be willing to pay from our community pot, because it's for all of us. So I say we go. So we're gonna go towards the inner city, see if we find anything. It's like,
Yep, so you guys start to move back in. Zenro, so you finish up your ritual casting. What are you trying to ask?
One question. I feel like the wording threw me on that, but no, that's what I said. So I basically asked, if we were to search out,
We're gonna split some up here.
I saw, and I'm gonna open it up because I'm like 8 to up. I saw some solos. It might have been yours, come to you recently, maybe. And if I could ask you a favor, if I were to seek out Armory's ship, the Diplomat, where might I find it? If it still exists.
You're asking Hercule.
He's thinking.
yeah, no, I know.
Like right now,
It was just funny, because he was like asking like the
gonna
questions,
say,
like, and you're like.
I like to think the green that I used to have my eyes have kind of gone into a gray, but then like when I'm talking to him, it's almost like it goes into completely like either white or black. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like staring.
Green was just like the look of color, right? Green.
No, green was my eye color from
Oh, okay.
when I was alive. His is like usually like a dark purple or like a black, something that kind of gives you an idea like the mystic, like beyond, like the night sky.
Yeah, so after a short while, you get this like chill go across your skin, which as of recently, you haven't been able to really feel temperature in the same way. The voice kind of creeps on the inside of your head. You just hear Mercule say,
What was never lost, does it need to be found?
Say now, I'll try my best to remember. Where was the last place we saw the diplomat?
The wrecking noises.
Captured before she got on the ship.
She went into the Vesuvian Mountains. That was the last time I saw her.
Yeah, but we saw her come back down, didn't we?
Yeah, she has gone back up.
So she could have been captured there again.
We're
Later
not
that,
sure this is-
later that night, so I never saw her again. Okay. Yes, I say I can't be certain, but I have a feeling that it never left where we were. I think it's back at the wrecking oasis.
But I thought we lived there and was
Honestly, I don't recall. It's been so many
We'll
weeks.
take the ship as well. Yeah. So if it's in the wrecking oasis, then we definitely need some horses to get there.
Anyway, but.
We need, because it'd be what, it was like a week to travel down here?
Yeah.
It's a few days.
It was a few days by horse.
And if Merrill, who's more likely second man, is not answering us, he's either asleep, unconscious, dead.
Well, I think if asleep, the
Anyway,
message
that
gets to you.
very
like,
powerful
wakes you
ship
up, like,
is-
you know. I think the way it was sending, like the message gets to you, like either when it wakes you up or like the next time you become conscious. You get it,
Okay.
and you're supposed to be able to reply back. Or
Okay.
at least that's how it has done it. And I seem to be able to. So I guess it really comes down to, again, I recalled seeing her when she came down from the mountains because she said she did business with Will people. I remember that.
Yeah.
And she stayed there. And then she said she was leaving the next morning and we went there and it was gone.
the next morning is when you met with Everett. You guys tried to go to the diplomat, realized it wasn't.
Oh.
No, you guys tried to go to the diplomat and realized that it wasn't there, and so you went, or it wasn't where you left it, and so then you guys went to the mountains to try to get the horses.
That still doesn't give me an idea of like if it's correct. I could tell.
Give you a.
Want some goldfish.
Yeah.
You see how he strained to get all the way over there, and get himself some
I didn't, if
goldfish?
he'd said, well, you go get me the goldfish, I would have gotten the goldfish.
Shane, you want me to go get some more goldfish?
Fix those then.
As you were saying.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make sure, because that is a very, like, what's never lost, you know, I don't know. I get the idea that maybe it was under a spell, like maybe it was an illusion.
So maybe.
There's a chance she just put it under, or it was nearby, because I mean, it does fly, but at the same time, somebody would have to be on the boat. Meryl wasn't there.
But something might have been piloting it at the time, they could have landed it again. They could have left, I mean, it travels extremely quick,
also-
they could have left for an hour and came back.
I
By
know
the time
this
we had
is-
left.
Yeah, I know this is another spell slot, we can also ask, if one of them can tell us where they last left the ship.
Well, we might have a fight coming up, so let's save ourselves, obviously, it's
Okay.
somewhere back up there near the mountains.
I mean, honestly, as long as I have one to resurrect somebody in case they die, that's really the only thing I've got worried about so far. you know.
I don't want you to die.
That would be bad.
Who cares at this point?
We don't know how much longer that body is gonna be lasting.
Yeah, let's figure out what we're doing for now, and then I'll check how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Do I notice anybody yet working their way towards, what time is it?
Probably close to like 10 o'clock or so by now.
Just keep an eye out for a dragon board, walking up with my rifle.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We also choose, what did you say?
Cause I thought the last time I asked her, was a ship with her.
I'm sorry, what time is it? I guess, can
She said I don't know where the ship is.
Oh.
She said no.
Oh, yeah.
Said it's not with her.
Oh, it's not with her, okay, yeah, then yeah, alright. And it's probably, you know, the most ironic place it would be is because the city is up on a hill, thing. What if it was actually on the water, like as a normal boat? You just
Like,
never, you just never look
To
down.
hide it.
Yeah.
He didn't think about that, but now he's like, damn, that was actually.
That's what it was all along.
Okay, so yes, there might be a chance it is back with the original Oasis. I can't contact Merrill. He didn't respond, so either he's asleep and he'll get the message when he does wake up, or he's no longer on this particular plane of existence.
I don't think either way is back to Michael. Much more than
I reckon
So-
we go to that.
We have that, can we? I guess whenever
Sorry,
you guys
I'm
get
not
back.
bad.
yeah.
We're still trying to find cards.
I guess we can take a few moments to look at whatever the circlet thing,
Yeah,
if we're waiting on them to get back.
can I go through the items that are in the bag? Let's do that.
What we get.
Get lots of money.
Everyone's favorite part.
Show me the loot, yeah.
So before we do that, Benjamin and
You got so excited, I'm sorry.
I want to give them the chance to. So after a few, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes of wandering around, the aromas of the space, the spices, the different food carts, it's intoxicating. It's so much fun. There's so many people, a lot of people that look a lot different than you. There are quite a few different tabaxis, leopard print, kind of like snow leopard style, all black.
I'm all like distracted.
You do actually see another sphinx, or not sphinx, like Egyptian style, like skinless cat or hairless cat. And after a little while of looking around, you do see kind of like this carpenter who has like, there's like 3 different carts lined up, and they all have different signs on them that say like 350 GP, 500 GP, 600 GP, and each one's a little bit larger than the next.
Let's get the one that holds all of
I was
us.
about to.
If you're gonna ride, you might as well ride in style.
Yeah. Especially when you're yeah, all right. So we can walk up. By looking at these carts, would we be able to tell like about how many will hold?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The small one can hold about 4. It's just like a 2-seater in the front and then 2 carriage in the back. It's kind of more like a 2 people can face this way, 2 people can face that way, and then it's kind of covered. The slightly larger one can hold 2 people in the front and then 4 in the back, so 6. The largest can hold about 8.
There's about 8, so 2 in the front, 6 inside.
Mhm.
Okay.
As you start to kind of peer around and look inside, a kind of taller than normal gnome kind of comes around. He's wearing like this nice kind of suit, vest, coat over to kind of like if you've seen Harry Potter, those little gnomes that work at the bank.
Yeah.
Goblins, yeah, the goblins with the tail of their suit jacket dragging behind them with a little bow tie. And he comes up behind you, not to startle you, but it still makes you jump a little because you didn't see him as you're looking in. And he goes, "Oh, hello there. My name's Turnip Bellwater. This is Bellware Autos. How can I help you today?"
Oh, goodness.
What did you say your last name was?
Turnip Bellwaters.
Bellwaters. How you doing today?
So you're looking at these 3 fine specimen of automobiles, wheels hand carved. The inside specifically designed to hold people of your size.
Yeah.
We are holding a sale today. Would you like to buy 1, 2, or all 3?
What's your sale?
I'm selling them.
It's like buy one, get one half off, or like 20% off this one?
Sure, if you buy 1, I'll give you the other one half off. Full price, but I'll cut it in half.
So the smallest one is 350.
For you, yes.
What is the medium and large again?
The medium right now, today, this beautiful sunny morning, 500 gold pieces.
And the large?
The large one, whoa, that's for our big spenders only. That's 650 gold pieces.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at this character, man. Okay, so I know that we have a couple of people who can fly. We have one who could possibly fly should she need to, right? But I also want to be mindful, like, if they get tired out, or, you know, I want to have enough room for everyone, right? And that one
Two
won't
things,
fade.
the large. How many horses does it take to?
Two for each.
Just two, okay.
Would, out of character, I don't really know much about parts, would that, like, would the speed between these three different sizes be much different? No? Okay.
Speed wise.
So you said 650 for
Probably depend
largest?
more on the horse.
Hmm?
Probably depend more on the horse.
Okay.
It would
Mhm.
mean the speed of it.
Yeah, okay.
Like a weaker or more scrawny, less fed horse might do half the speed of like a good breed, and then even like a large war horse or something might be able to be even more, just
Okay.
to bear the weight.
Yeah. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of us, so.
And it won't say.
Well, I know. And that would give us a little bit more room on the inside, should we need to
Supplies.
bring anyone with us, you know, we could have 2 that fly, potentially 3 that fly, right? And still be able to carry what we need to.
We can still squeeze in what we need to.
I feel like Silence would say that we could squeeze in more.
Sorry.
if we need to.
I thought you were out of character still, so.
No, I'm sorry.
Covered part.
So the large one.
Yeah, it's a covered part.
Yeah, it's more like a 8-seater / 12-seater, depending on how you squeeze. You know what I mean?
Great.
Only thing this thing doesn't have is a portable bathroom.
Does it come with a warranty?
No,
No roadside.
my craftsmanship speaks for itself.
I think we're gonna go with the.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, the big spender! All I'll need you to do is sign this small document right here, and it just says sale of 1 large cart, $6.50. I'll sign first so you know it's authentic. And he just signs it as Turnip Bellwaters. Who's the lucky lad? Oh, it's you. He stamps it afterwards. It says, sold to the blue lady and her cat friend. Sorry, I don't know your name, buddy. And he's gonna like give you like this set of keys that open up the door because the door's locked on this one. And
Starts up the cart.
as it
I'm gonna get over with Benjamin and pose for a picture.
get a sketch artist real quick.
Little caricature.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, he actually probably has someone on hand for that because that's kind of his
That's
shtick.
fine.
Let's do this.
So he has somebody real
Yeah,
quick.
we
It takes
got
him
control.
30 seconds. He just goes like Jack from Titanic. Just
Yeah.
and suddenly you're wearing a necklace with a blue jewel.
More blue.
And then yeah,
No,
so
he has the blue jewel.
he gives you the
He does. And he is the naked one.
He is the naked one.
Oh, yeah. As much as-
pigeons posing
I'm
naked
Jack.
with a big blue jewel on him.
He's Rose.
Drop me a link with your friend.
I'm so serious. Okay, so you two, yeah, you get your picture drawn. It actually looks pretty good. He says, you know what? This is free of charge with any purchase. And so he hands it to you, and it's just the two of you, like, kind of posed with the cart.
I'm so excited.
One of the stick figures.
Yeah.
And he's like, so, you're gonna walk this thing out of here? Do you have horses or
I'm ready to
something?
go get horses.
Yeah, do you want me to stay with the cart? You wanna
Yeah,
stay with the horse?
You stay with the cart.
I can hold it for you. I got the sign. I can slap a sold sign on this baby.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
And he literally has like a sign that says sold. He like attached it where it used to say 650 gold pieces.
Alright.
Perfect. I know we're kind of going back and forth, sorry it's taking us so long, but I didn't want to buy more horses than we needed if we could get a cart.
You don't
I
have to
think in my
apologize
head.
for playing D&D.
What?
So you don't have to apologize for playing D&D. We know how this works.
Okay,
I'd like to have a little bit more character.
shut up. Since we know where the stables are now, kind of in relation to.
Oh,
would
it's
it
like
take
3
less
minutes
time?
away.
Okay,
We spent 20 minutes and started.
we were wandering. We
Hey,
didn't
you
know
know,
where
that
to
was
go.
like window
happens during
shopping.
Little shopping.
That's true.
Yeah, we didn't know where to
We're
go.
sampling food.
I mean, even then, a little bit of me is like, damn, there's a lot of shops in here. Maybe we should just.
I know.
How's that?
You you make your way back to the stables, and the guy sees you walk back up, and he's like, "Were you able to find the guards?"
We
We
were.
were, yes.
Oh, excellent! I knew there had to be somebody in there that could sell you a nice little cart. So, what do you need? 1 or 2 horses to pull the cart?
We would like 2 of your top horses. As you had mentioned before, like 1,000 gold pieces per.
Jimbo! And like one of the little kids kind of walks up with like two of these like horses. One of them is one of the mostly all black with slight brown, and then one is like this. I don't know the horse term for it, but it's almost calico, if that makes sense. So it's got like
Like an Appaloosa?
The paint horse.
Yeah, it's a paint horse, there you go.
paint. That sounds
Paint horses are the ones that are like brown or white.
I thought it was
spots.
weird too.
yeah. So some dumbass named that.
They're the
200 years
cheapest in
ago, and it stuck.
Skyrim. If that.
So yeah, you guys have like a paint horse and like this all black stallion. So
Excellent.
you guys, what?
Do they have names?
I'm so glad.
I don't know if
you
you
asked them.
named y'all's horses that you
I
sell.
leave that up to those who purchase.
Found this one the other day in
I'll
a
ask
thing.
them.
His name's
Don't worry.
Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave that up to her.
And you guys recognize Quicksilver in the corner. I'm
Fuck.
kidding. No, he's dead.
Or that horse that we like.
Where's Annabelle?
Left in their stables back in a.
Thank goodness a rock monster killed it.
I'm kidding. All right. So yeah, you guys make your way back over to the cart, attach the horses. Who's taking the first drive?
It's time for some animal handling checks.
You can go.
Yeah, sure, I'll drive.
All right, give me an animal handling check.
Oh my god, no.
Me all over the place.
I'll say with
There's gonna be
advantage.
some dead people in this very crowded street.
Animal handling with advantage.
These are
Oh,
expensive
okay,
horses.
okay.
They probably
Yeah,
should.
they know what they're doing.
Oh, I need the advantage. 14.
That's good.
Okay.
Excellent.
You're able to steer them like they almost intuitively know what you're doing.
Oh,
As you
cool.
go left, they're already starting to go left. As you go right, they're following your movements. And you make your way out of town back towards the rest of you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like a badass. My
Silex starts
card.
pulling.
Get you the top hat.
My lady.
Get him a hat, please. We can-
Yo,
And just
yo.
a single belt with a little sword.
Yeah, we need one.
Okay, so
We should get you a Harvard's hat.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
Hannah actually has like a Puss in
And
Boots
you now
hat.
have an offer hat.
Yeah.
So as you pull these these items out of the bag, kind of like out of recollection, first you pull 3 vials of kind of crimson liquid out. The 4th vial is kind of this grass green color. And you set it next to it. 4th thing you pull out, or I guess 3rd thing you pull out, is this beautiful kind of horn made out of
Like a drinking horn.
no, it's like an actual like horn that you
Okay.
blow. You pull out this beautifully made, seems like some sort of sparring or fighting staff. It's like this onyx black wood. At the top, it has these little silver inlays that pack a little extra punch if you were to get whacked by it. Definitely adds a little bit more weight to the staff.
Fair.
There's 2 stones that you pull out. One is this skinny purple obelisk looking gem. The other one is a kind of green lavender swirled ellipsoid gem, like a fine cut gem.
Okay.
Next, you find a necklace with this tiny little skull on it. Not a human skull, not made of bone. It's beautifully carved. It's like gold with like these tiny little rubies in the eyes, but it's just dangling by a silver necklace, like a pendant. That's everything that you find.
And then we still have that one dagger that I grabbed, right?
Yeah, she has
The
a
mirror dagger thing.
Okay, so
In a circle.
I need someone to watch the window. I'm gonna do ritual cast, identify as many times as I can until they alert me. So let's start. I'll put the vials up. I'll do those later. I have an idea of what those are. I want to start with the horn and the staff.
I'll sit outside and keep an eye out for when they arrive.
Okay.
I'm still up for one.
I see a giant hat and 2 very nice horses. Probably would take you too long. It would take you
No.
a few minutes just to run there.
Yeah, you guys make your way back pretty quickly. Okay. So how long does it take to ritually cast?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So there's a total of
Yeah, so I want to start with the horn.
there's a total of
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
So you
4,
get to do that for each one,
5,
right?
6, 7.
Yeah,
There's a
it's-
total of 8 devices or items.
We could do this on the go.
Once you're in the cart.
Or get in the cart.
Oh. Says time 1 minute for ritual cast.
It's usually plus 1 minute to cast whatever the.
Oh, it always says what time, it says time 1 minute, so I don't really know.
Alright.
Did yours say 10 minutes?
Well, rituals, I believe it's supposed to be 10 minutes plus the 1 minute
Okay, if that's what it's supposed to be, then it's 11 minutes.
time. I got it.
Let me see.
Well, are you waiting and doing that right now, or are you waiting until you get into the
For
cart?
the horn and the staff, also will do 22 minutes of identifying.
It says the ritual version of the spell takes 10 minutes longer to cast than normal.
Yeah.
So if it takes you 1 action, it takes you 10 minutes, 6 seconds.
Yeah, so 11 minutes per identify.
So you can obviously look up the statistics on these.
Okay.
That's what you find.
Step striking. Horn or blast. Okay.
So anyways, I started blasting.
If they haven't warned me yet. is there
Still nobody
anyone
coming.
coming down the road?
Still nobody coming, except now you guys see a cart with 2 beautiful horses and a blue and kind of blackish figure at the front.
Okay, then I will do,
Yep. So now it's almost 11 at this point.
how many minutes? I'll do one more on the necklace.
What time are they supposed to arrive? Because
11.
This isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna try to.
Oh.
Isla, get it.
Oh, you burn them and everything.
I know, I was looking at that.
Yeah.
fancy. Soak them in coffee. Gives it that.
Marshmallow thoughts.
That's a thought, it's a
Actually.
medallion,
Oh, medallion.
but it looks like marshmallow. from afar. The marshmallow.
Put it in the fire. See what happens.
Okay.
Goes the marshmallow.
You guys arrive back with the cart and the 2 horses.
I'm gonna go to the horses and just.
Silence, I don't know if you're all done. You may have to do this on the go.
Yeah, we can stop for now and I'll put everything back up.
Alright.
We should pack up. Are we,
Yeah.
are we gonna wait for the dragonborn though, or? Or we-
I don't think so.
Are we gonna have to recruit? What are we doing?
Well, we can't let them use this place. I mean, that was the whole point.
You can't exactly destroy this stone home.
It'll take a lot of shots.
We can't. hear
I-
the-
I'm just saying.
Hold on, Trey, hold on.
Hold
I
on, Trey.
mean, we know you want to explode this place with shatter.
There's got to be somebody who knows how the foundation works, where the pillars are at. We can just.
Yeah, we didn't catch any of that.
Rigging?
He wants to shatter the pillars.
Are these gonna go for like main structural?
Yeah.
points here?
You know what, if you wanna do it, go for it. I'm not gonna stop you. Everyone just out of the building.
I mean, we
Yeah.
either do that, kill the dragonborn. I mean, just don't wanna leave any loose ends that come and kill us later.
Yeah, go for it. Have fun, Xeris. Do, shatter your life's content.
Well, I've got 3, so I might need some extra help with the others.
I cannot help you besides punching a pillar. I don't know how much that would help.
You have that breath thing, right?
I don't have it prepared.
Oh, I do have the breath thing. I don't know if that's gonna
Oh, that's not
get
that stone.
stone.
I played
You think
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah. You can't use Pikachu against this stone.
Yeah, Geodude, ha.
Yeah.
You know what? I can still beat them with my Pikachu very much.
I did. I said that.
I mean, by all means, take a look around and see if anything in here would cause it to crumble on itself, but I don't know. Either way,
Investigation check and see if you can find sweet.
either way, I'm back outside and looking towards the road.
Okay. Still no one coming.
I'm gonna ask Sage, Can you ask these horses what their names are?
Sure.
I'm gonna go Sage. I'm gonna ask all
I'll cast.
I don't have to.
Nope.
So you both cast Speak with Animals?
Yes.
Okay. What do you say?
Hi. I'm gonna say, hi, I'm Rain. What is your name? I'm talking to the black one.
The black one looks over at you startled as you're speaking.
Draco.
Okay. And what about alternative paint? What about you?
This one kind of looks at you a little less surprised. Says, Draco's my brother.
So do we call you Draco's sibling? Do you have a name?
I haven't decided to tell you yet.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
This was intelligent.
Hell no.
I don't like this.
We got the
Well,
last one.
If either of you need anything, we are obviously able to communicate, so
Okay.
please let us know if you need anything.
I'm gonna, like, my transfer and that will have something to eat and give it to the horses. Did you hear me?
No.
I'm gonna get my little pack and give them something to eat. Not
Draco eats it, the other one doesn't.
Oh, this first was
God.
You don't like apples?
Trust must be earned.
Fair.
I was just purchased. I don't know if you know what that feels like, but not great.
That's what I'm thinking.
But I do know what that would you say?
For me, 1,000 gold pieces is what my life is worth. To your kind.
Well,
Singing spirit or something.
I would imagine that probably doesn't feel great. I can tell you that we are on the lookout for another means of transportation, and when that happens, your freedoms are yours.
We'll see.
We're not there.
Grace, well, we go
I'm
upstairs.
there.
Yeah, but you know, school.
I know.
Draco loves it. He's all in.
You know,
Draco's already like kind of leaning his head up against you.
So are we staying or we going?
Well, how'd it go, Shatter?
I don't know. Do you want me to roll to see if I can
Oh, did
spot
you
the
cast-
integrity?
That's still inside?
No, I told him.
No, I haven't casted it yet. I'm going to try to find some structural fortitude and blast those areas.
If there was any like pillars that look like weight bearing pillars or something.
Yeah. I mean, you can, if you want to make an intelligence check to see if you would know where the best place to do shadow would be.
You know, you chose well. That is my lowest stat.
Can I look around for the best place for him to do shadow?
Oh, I actually didn't do that bad. I got a 19.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, it takes you.
I'm sorry, 18 because -1.
That changes everything.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, you look around for a few minutes and you definitely realize, like, based off of where this is and where that is, you know, kind of where to start blasting.
So then I'll start blasting with 3 of them.
Are we out? Are we moved out?
We've already subbed out a long
Okay.
time ago.
I'm going to do it maniacally.
Yeah. You're able to blast through this shit. As you cast your last shatter, as you're like stepping out, you kind of notice almost like perfectly placed explosives inside like a building to make it collapse perfectly in. It just goes and falls down.
There's an inside job.
Yeah. So some of the outside pillars are still standing. Some of the structures of the windows and doors that are pretty sturdy, just stone on stone, but the second floor is completely caved in on top. All the rooms, the kitchen, everything. It's just a pile of rubble.
Well, then let's get out.
I feel better.
In the cart, let's go.
Okay. Everyone gets in the cart and where are you going?
Back up to
To Reckon?
the town?
We go to the city and there's a lot to do.
I mean, yeah,
You wanna go to Reckon Oasis, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go find
So we're
the
saying we're
system
going down.
Back up the
We're
road.
going down suspicion. I feel so bad when we get there.
then we.
Well, then we
keep-
can, one of us can maybe also.
With horse and cart, with these two horses, you'd probably be able to make it all the way to Reckon Oasis in a matter of 4 or 5 days,
Okay.
pretty quickly,
Over that
without
time,
having to like run the horses.
Yeah.
yeah, give them, I can create food, assuming you
I'm
can
gonna.
create food for them, keep them well fed as well, hydrated.
I'm also up on this, I can also find food for.
Yeah, and through the rest of that, I'll identify the rest of that.
Just the items. Okay, perfect. Well then, as you do that, you recognize and start to identify the rest of the items that you pull out of the.
Okay.
You guys already know about the blade of bears.
Oh,
Yeah, I was looking at her. She just this thing was like, oh, he's on the move.
those are fun.
Then she just kind of like, you know, she's a dog. She has that kind of worried look. Like, you coming back over here? Lost track of it.
Those are fun.
Now, Cree, you already have the blade of broken mirrors.
Forever.
Because I didn't create a card for that.
Okay, I have a question though, because I looked it up. There's a whole list of other things that we're supposed to know, and I'm sorry if I looked it up.
Like what? What do you
So
see?
I'll show you the page I looked
Oh,
up.
I know what you mean. Like
The Wigan woman,
Mhm.
what all that. I don't know. Are we supposed to know that? What is that? What state is it at?
I don't even know.
you
how
don't
to-
know, because
Okay.
you're not attuned to it yet.
Okay, if you want to do it, you can.
What is that?
No, the dagger. she pulled out of the pile.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, so. At our next camp, right, whatever that is, I will pull out all this stuff. And start explaining what things are, because we.
Well,
some
real
really
quick,
cool things.
before we camp, then I will send a message to Armory.
Let me look up-
Okay.
And I will say,
I'm gonna take care of horses.
I feel like I keep listening to this.
yeah, I'm trying to think like. I guess I'll talk out loud before I do. I guess I'll see, I mean, I could check to make sure she and Centuria are still okay. If she knew where the boat was before she was captured.
Yeah, we're
I could
coming to
give-
find you,
We're looking for you.
looking for the diplomat to
Are
get
you
to
still
you.
with the Malfi? Maybe? Could they? Or maybe I could ask if they are in Finland, if she knew that's where they're going. Probably not.
I would say we're coming to find you, trying to find the diplomat. Are you still alive? Is that, or are you in Centria? still alive?
I believe, I firmly believe they're still alive. I'll make sure they're both
Are you?
okay,
Are you
well.
okay? Yeah.
So yes, I sent a message.
Can I make you something else?
Okay.
Are you and Centria still well or okay? We're trying to find the diplomat. We are coming
I
for
think
you.
you know better.
Do you know where you last left?
A dagger.
Hey, guys. Sorry, say that again. I was distracted.
Are you and Centria still okay? What is it? You and Centria still okay? We're coming to find you. We're looking for the diplomat. Do you know where you last left?
And quickly responding in a labored breath. We are okay for now. Cold. Don't know what she wants with us. We cannot leave. And we were taken from the ship by force. Where you and I last met.
So the ship is definitely Reckon Oasis somewhere.
Okay.
We have to look around. It might be hard to see. I don't know if she casts any spells on it. So far on our time on the ship, we haven't seen it like been invisible.
You have.
You have.
While it was flying.
Oh wow. It's flying maybe above.
I mean, one of us.
If you guys remember when you guys first got on the ship to fly from Athos Beach to Fjordstown, you noticed that as you got up to altitude, the ship cast essentially invisibility, so you guys can see straight down into the ocean, like from the sky.
Okay, see that I totally agree about that.
Well, when we get to,
We can do locate object.
right, we can, both of us can cast it and then we'll start scouring. the
As far
city.
as your mother and my daughter goes, they're still okay for now, but she is cold. She did ask for us to help as soon as we can. They won't let her leave, so she's trapped somewhere.
I'm Malthea is in for a world of pain if they are hurt.
I would agree. But anyways,
Okay.
does you have anything to say?
We definitely made quite a score. So start off with the first things. We have a staff of striking, which is a magical quarterstaff, which is a +3 to attack rolls and damage, and it can do a lot more. We only have 3 melee fighters between y'all. You do spells. You have your 9 lives. So that probably go to monk, but we're all, this is all open for discussion. I'm just,
Well, let's go through all.
What are
of
those
them.
brass
Yeah.
knuckles?
We also have Horn of Blasting,
Silver's good.
which does a magical blast of stuff. Sorry, you do Mr. Thunderous Blast in a 30-foot cone, audible 600 feet away. On a failed save, it takes 5d6 thunder damage and deafen.
Holy shit.
Oh, fails it.
Yeah, objects made of glass or crystal have a disadvantage on saving throw and take 10d6.
That goes immediately to. If only Arathi was around, then you'd be like,
And
huh?
every chance that it has a 20% chance of exploding when you use it, and it'll do 10d6 fire damage to the blower. Yeah. Then we got a Medallion of Thoughts, which is a necklace that you attune to, which can let you cast Detect Thoughts 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
3 times a day.
That's sick.
We got some potions of healing, which is just always great. We got a superior healing potion, which is always great. A potion of Hill Giant Strength.
Sorry.
which-
I didn't make it. There's 3 potions of healing
Okay.
and 1 potion of superior healing. So 4 total potions of healing.
Okay, so there's 3 on that. You went
Yeah.
through on that one. So 3 potions of healing and 1 superior. So was that 44 or what is superior?
I think it's
Superior-
88.
Oh, okay.
I'll pull it up. I had it all pulled up the other day. when I did it.
And then we got
Superior is 8d4 plus 8, not 88.
and then the 2 greatest things we got are the Ion Stone of Mastery and the Ion Stone of Greater Absorption. So the Ion Stone of Mastery will give you a +1 to your proficiency. So that affects everything you do. And
While
the
you're
Ion Stone-
you have it on.
Yeah, while you have it on, it floats around the head.
No, it hovers above you about
Hovers
1
above you.
feet,
Someone can
about 1
steal
foot
it
above
from
your
you.
head.
It naturally
If you're-
attaches kind of like in your. around you.
Think of like a floating crown,
Yeah.
but someone can steal it from you if you fail to save it.
Like those floating stones and Atlantis.
Yeah.
The little one
We're not talking about Atlantis with Tracer.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Ion Stone of Greater Absorption will let you stop and absorb an 8th level spell
Or under.
or under if you're wielding it. And it goes up to 50 charges basically. So every level of spell
That's
you
the,
absorb,
it's the greater.
yes, it's 50,
Jesus.
which is a legendary item. So that one is very priceless at the moment.
Yeah.
But that one will absorb anything 8 level and below, up to, let's see, 4 or 5 times. So that can stop some pretty major shit.
And then I got one I think I want to give you, but it's a little worrisome, which is the Blade of Broken Mirrors.
Yeah, it's a dagger.
So it's a dagger that has entrapped in it
You're gonna
yeah,
learn all
I'll
that.
just read it. Here it goes. See if you
You
want.
would learn all that when you attune to it up to the dormant state. So we can deal out this however we like. I don't need any of this, because I can create stuff.
I mean, we can keep the potions.
Yeah, but we can spread everything out. And then I also want to give, how much did you spend on the 2,000?
Yeah, I spent 2,000 on the horses and then the cart was 650.
Okay, so I'll recoup the 650.
Said you got a good deal. You know, it's good
And
sale.
then
Good sale going on that day.
Especially
Yeah,
to bring her to the
everyone
office.
additional
I thought about doing a whole thing.
The thing is, you can pay like all of it right
I
now.
can't hear about this talk.
Seamus,
Oh, wow. It's hard to get a number, huh?
we give everyone else 1,000.
Oh,
Happy
thank you.
personal, so everyone can have some money on them in case
Thank
anything
you.
happens.
1,000 gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
On 1,000 flat?
Or 100 platinum, I guess.
Yeah, it's 100 platinum.
Well, I mean, we got 35,000 platinum.
Yeah, no,
35,000
35,000
in
gold
gold
pieces
Worth
worth
of
of platinum.
platinum, okay, sorry.
So it'd be 100 platinum.
No, not 350,000.
Outside of that.
8,000. So we have 30,000, so we have 31,000 left. So 29,000.
So since we are heading back to Reckon Oasis, my concern is the second we hit territory, we owe our new friend something. So maybe we need to.
Well, I mean, that's the issue.
So I had a thought about that. And it's hard because I'm dumb, but what if our give to them was to fortify that and make it our own bunker, our own base of operations? Because there's a lot of that cave we didn't even look at.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Well,
But
that's
that-
the thing. We go there, then yes, we will have to give stuff, but that we already gave something with what, a week ago?
Is that how it works though? Every time you,
Derek only
Go.
said whenever you visit.
Whenever you're there,
I don't know
the
that,
cave
I
or?
didn't
yeah.
say.
I might need to do more.
So I'm afraid that if we step foot into Reckon Oasis territory, that counts as, you're right, we've only been gone a few days,
So we're still there,
but we're still there.
and we got new things.
But we
Well,
also
I-
know that when we give, we get as well. So it's not like we're gonna give and then not receive anything good in return.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say that these things are very, very good.
Well, that's what I mean, is we also have money, so maybe we can give
That's,
money
It's-
and,
it's a difficult, we're not visiting the mountains. If we're going to the mountains, I understand.
But is she, but
She's
like,
gonna want all of it.
right, but like if we, I don't know how she senses things. So if we went in,
Right,
right, but like if one of us went in, are they going to know that our party has other things?
I mean,
That are-
I would assume that she has a link on us. She did bring our little cat boy back to life from a distance. So
They've been.
I am unmarked.
He's unmarked.
Or
So we
Tyler
can always,
himself.
no, he can hold these things for us.
if she doesn't already know that we have them, which she almost certainly does.
But then she, I don't know.
The cat died, came back to life with a big sapphire. So
Those kind of natures, but again, I may be lost for vision.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a gift of the breath. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what do we do anyways? We just not go to Reckon Oasis.
no, we have to get the boat, we can't.
So it's,
So-
either way, this is we go there and either she takes the things or. she
Well, and I
doesn't.
don't know, what I remember, I could be wrong, but I remember Derek saying, you know, like when we ask how often do we have to give, he's like, just whenever you visit. I don't know if that necessarily means that you are required every time you visit. It's just like, oh, whenever you're around, just. do
We
it
can
then.
always try going.
Right, it
to
could just
Reckon-
I don't think it was that nonchalant. I think it was a little more.
You visit the lady we now serve. If
Mhm.
you want something from her, you have to pay.
Yeah,
So we don't go to her cave.
so why don't we,
Yeah, so
why
just
don't we
go to
just
the
plan on going, and then if something happens, we'll just have.
Cause I
to
mean, her
leave.
cave is a good 2 hours
Or
outside
if
of town.
anything,
Yeah.
maybe maybe she's open to reason that we need these at least to get Centria and Armory back, and then after that, we'll figure out next steps.
Yeah.
And we
Plus,
could
uh,
always give him the two that we are most protective of,
Yeah.
just as an insurance,
Yeah.
you know.
Plus,
safety
you could always
procedure.
hope that maybe she gives you a slight warning, your first mistake.
And then if we
Cool.
need
Cool.
to give up the rest.
Well, then
yeah.
this really doesn't change anything right now, I just wanted to make sure we know about
Yeah.
it, so just be prepared.
Did I identify the circlet with the emerald, or is that just?
It's just a very nice circle.
Okay. Okay, so how are we divvying these out?
I feel like we should, if we are going there, let's protect the reasons.
We
give
both did
him
the same
these
thing.
just Because he isn't tied to her, because we
Yeah.
don't know.
I played
if that
Diablo,
symbol is
so I
gonna
could see it.
force us to do
I
it.
agree.
I don't see
I
it.
agree.
So we can protect ourselves and give that to him
Until we get out of town.
until we get out of town.
Yeah,
I think that's the best bet.
I agree.
Didn't you make another bag of holding?
I do want to make another bag of holding. How long would that take?
On the road, you probably can't do it.
We'd have to,
You'd have to sit in a chamber.
This dagger's kind of awesome.
I know, yeah.
Once it gets awakened, it sounds like it's way better,
But
but
you actually may have to find somebody.
Granted,
who
I
can
don't
make
know
that.
what that chaotic
So I feel like making
evil
that-
Oh, I'm down
make
for
you do, but that's still a part of your character.
It doesn't like make you do anything, I think it encourages you. to
Right,
do
but I
certain
was,
things,
you
like
know,
pushes you in.
we have no idea what difference is gonna be from, under wraps and then
It's like,
awakens.
if I use a ranged attack with it, it returns to my hand, so I can like throw it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fucking cool.
but I mean, because we talked about it earlier outside of D&D, that because I can make my own bag of holding,
Mhm.
it would cost money and materials, but I can
Yeah.
make one.
Um,
So,
I'd say the biggest thing you'd have to pay for is time to get it made. 'Cause
No,
it would
yeah,
have to
I
be
understand.
enchanted. So I'd say you can turn anything into a bag of holding
Mhm.
that you have, like a
satchel or anything,
yeah,
yeah.
satchel or something, but you'd have to find a well-trained alchemist.
Well, see, that's the thing, is I would be doing it, because I can make my own bag of holding.
Right.
And so, but it would take the time and resources for me to do it.
Yeah. I'd say it would take at least 2 weeks
Okay.
every night trying to get it
Okay,
done.
that's understandable.
So,
So it would take.
or we'll
it would take you
say
down
7
to-
successful attempts. So whether
Okay.
you do it 7 for 7 or not, but each night before you go to bed, you can make a
Okay,
like a tinkering check or whatever your check would be with proficiency with your.
okay, so I will start that on our rolls, whoever wants to have a bag of holding.
Yeah.
The second one, every night I have to spend some time with it. So
But it
medallion,
will take you 5 nights to get there. So if you wanted to
yeah, I will start that.
do 5 of those tonight, you can, or today you can.
Okay,
Pull up your thing here.
so
So what, this is attacking,
This
so I
is-
feel like it's one of the girls.
which one?
they have magic and they turn it, her main thing is.
Yeah.
I think the
So-
staff should
That's
go.
good.
Yeah, I would love to hit things with.
You have to
something
attune to that, and you can expend charges, and it does force damage. So it's a pretty meaningful stat.
Cool.
As long as you use it.
What's what?
I want princess.
Okay.
Sorry, I had.
No, that's fine. So we have the horn of blasting, the potions, which we can kind of divvy up.
What does the one of blessing do?
It releases it's basically like shatter, like more powerful.
The
Um,
downside is the explosion that comes back. So whoever takes it should have a lot of fire resistance. So, Feature, did you get that? The fire resistance whenever you got your horn?
No,
Say wings?
No.
No.
No, she didn't.
He has fire resistance.
I think
That's
he-
why I'm
yeah, I
asking
think
you.
Trish
That's
made
why I'm
it.
asking you.
Me?
He's asking you.
No, I don't have fire resistance.
I didn't know if you had gotten it with the high school stuff.
strength for your attacks, strength?
What?
Strength for your attacks or charisma?
Strength for my physical attacks, charisma for my spells.
So Trey can get the potion of full strength. That would up his strength majorly in combat. And then we can just split up the potions of healing.
What do you want these 2 stones to go to whenever I'm done?
That one we'll decide as a party when we get there.
Yeah.
I'd rather not get attached to them than get them ripped away.
You can also use both.
Yeah, you can also use both. So someone can be majorly powerful with those.
Yeah, I don't think they have the rest. I mean,
So
I
Who
mean,
specifically wants the horn.
I could take the horn.
that's all right.
Yeah.
She has your sword, so that's a good replacement. for her.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. So. And then,
I'll take a potion.
Okay, you just write that down. Because I've
I
got.
already have
Just a
some
regular
potions.
potion of healing.
Yeah, potion of healing.
So we have 3 potions here and then a greater.
Yeah, I will give you the quickest with flight, other than her. So you already have one,
I
don't you?
already have the potion, so
Okay.
I don't.
And I'll keep these until we have the same time.
Well-
Which a few nights of travel go by.
Oh,
Go ahead and make.
5.
Yeah. What do you roll to make your?
Tinkering would be
So yeah, make
intelligence.
make 5 tinkering checks.
How much do these potions heal?
Those are just 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Those are just like standard healing potions.
You want me to roll Arcana since I'm enchanting, or do you want me to just do straight intelligence?
Whichever you would use to make any sort of enchanted item.
Say Arcana. Yeah, let's go with Arcana.
Or whichever like you're better at, because you're trying to lean into your
I would say Arcana, to me, inquiry, I can make it, I mean, that's not a problem, if it was just tinkering, like mechanically, I would say sleight of hand, but for me,
Yeah.
enchanting, that's the magic of it, I would say Arcana.
All right, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The staff doesn't is a simple.
Okay, my lowest was a 9 twice, which plus 8 is 17. So then my next was a 13 plus 8 was 1, and then I had 2 16s, which made 24.
Yeah, 2 successes.
Okay. Right. Cool.
All right. Cool. All right, so you guys travel and travel, more travel, until you finally make your way back to the Wrecking Oasis. When you guys arrive back, we'll say you arrive somewhat close to midday. The sun's nice and shining. Where are you trying to go?
I think at this point, the plan, or that my thought was that I was gonna cast locate object on Diplomat and just start scanning.
We can fly.
Well, that's what I mean, like, I'll scan up, and if you wanna scan down, yeah.
And we can probably start off by where we first saw the boat when we came here.
Yeah.
We docked somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Good with that.
So as you first arrive and you cast locate object, you don't see anything pop up. Remember, the range is only 1,000 feet,
Right,
which
so it's not where it was docked last.
are you guys going there and then casting it? Or are you
Yes.
casting it and then flying around?
And I figured we were gonna start there, and then
Okay.
we were gonna, if it wasn't there, I was gonna fly in,
Yeah.
start scanning.
So as you guys do arrive, you remember where it was last docked. Remember, it docks in kind of a hover state. As you get there and you kind of look around, it looks like nothing really seems to be there until you cast locate object and it's hovering right above you.
Okay, okay. Well,
see it?
it's here.
So it's invisible, or is it just
It's
doesn't get up?
Okay, so I guess
I'm
I'll,
sure if we detected magic, it would be like.
I guess I'll fly up to it.
Okay.
And are the, I'll let them know, I'll say it's up
Okay.
there, like,
Yes.
guys, it's here, I'm gonna
Mhm.
fly up there and see if anybody's there.
Okay. Yeah, you get up to the top deck where you think it is. Again, it's invisible, so it's kind of hard to tell, but from your locate object, you know it's here. So you're kind of like, blind person just kind of walking carefully with their hands out. And you get to where the top is, and your feet actually find surface on the top. You don't see anyone here. It's just all clear. You can actually look straight down to the hillside. where
Do
it's
we
hovering.
see her like up there, or does she become
Mhm.
invisible when she's?
Once she gets up there, she becomes invisible to you. But she
I
can
guess I
see
wanna
you.
go below deck.
I don't know. Think about it. Was there any rope? That's up our ship. How deep is that?
No, we always floated up.
Yeah. I can.
So again, you're having to try to find where the
Yeah.
deck is. But once you find that space, once you start going underneath, then it all looks normal to you.
Okay,
You see the fire, like all the different kilns, like fired up for the charcoal locomotive style engines that they use, and then you don't notice, you don't see any Goliaths, you don't see any liveliness at all. It looks like it's been abandoned for weeks. Snog.
I guess I'll fly back down and just say the ship's empty, there's nobody here. But
Do you check the forward?
so are you saying, Shade, are you saying there's no one, like, can I scan the whole ship? I guess before I fly down. Am I scanning the whole ship, or am I just looking at the
You're looking where you want to go, so if you want to go farther down.
I wanna like look for anybody,
Yeah, but I mean,
No.
it's nobody.
bodies, nothing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Vacant.
There's no one there.
Can you turn off the invisibility so we can get up?
Well, I can, yeah. I think I can.
You say there's dispel magic, but I assume it's a pretty powerful
Yeah,
enchantment or a spell.
I thought about doing it, but I also don't want it to start coming down and crashing.
Yeah, you also don't.
That's what I'm worried about, yeah. it's
That's
fine.
why you gotta turn it off from over there. I mean, I can
Well,
fly up there.
I figured if I bring, or if we can figure out a way for all of us to
Going
get
to
up
go
there,
up,
then we can all start fanning out and figuring out what.
I was just magically, we went to like one side of the boat, we just thought, like, yeah, we went up there.
You just thought like up, like you thought about going up and you did.
Okay, try that.
Yeah, so all of you who like kind of think that and give a little bit of a leap, you just hover to the top. Seems to be some magics going on with this ship.
Something's fucking with this vessel.
Something's weird. Yeah.
Can I make my way to the control room?
Like that top deck control center.
Wherever Meryl seemed to be controlling things from.
Yeah, so again, like a newborn babe, just like not sure where you can't see like what you every step you feel like you're about to hit your head on something. But you do kind of feel the walls of the control room, you feel the stairs to go up, and then once you get inside again, just like she experienced, once you get into interior of the ship, it's all visual to you, and you see the steering, large oversized steering wheel. You see a couple of like different buttons and dongles and levers up here at the top, different gauges, you know, and you also see Meryl on the ground, seems to be slain.
Can I check a pulse? How can he cold? I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's cold.
I'm sorry, my friend. And, I mean, what do the controls look like? Is it like technology? Is it crystals? What am I looking at?
Mixture of, yeah, crystals, blues and purples, looking like little rock formations on the dash, a couple of different levers and things like that. But yeah, very
Is it
technical.
labeled or is it all non-labeled?
Not really, because Meryl's really the only one who ever flew the ship. But no, nothing really seems to be
Can I
labeled in any way.
try and figure it out to just disable it?
Sure.
Oh.
You know, I could speak with Meryl and see if he knows how to fly this, and also that's what happened here.
Another thought, this took an army of Goliaths shoveling coal to power, and we don't have that army anymore.
We're gonna have to.
I would say there aren't like a dozen.
There's about 20 in there. Shoveling
That's
coal.
a lot.
With Goliaths, that's like an army.
That's true.
Maybe we can take.
Yeah, but you've been part of the ship before, so you know how to do it.
Yeah, not 20 Goliaths worth. Like it's
I mean, the ship is still standing here idle, which I'm surprised that, you know, it hasn't
We
run out.
we can maybe use some spells or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
figure out a
figure
way.
it out.
Well, there goes my army of birds.
Birds.
to use, right?
well,
Yeah.
I bring it up because there is a tribe that exists. They're powerful tieflings. I don't, all big barbarian strong people.
Better than the mountains.
That's true, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, talk to Meryl.
I'll take Meryl and I'm gonna bring him into the control center. So I feel like this is probably.
That's where he is.
He's already in the
Pretty-
control
That's
center.
where he got killed.
And I'm gonna kind of set him up, I guess, against the wheel. And much like I did previously before, kneel down. You gotta look at him, and is his eyes closed or
Mhm.
eyes are closed? I'm gonna like open one of them up, and kind of just stare, and be like, sorry to awake you. I have a few questions I need answered. And I will speak with them.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. I guess I could ask, well, real quick before. Well, I mean, we could ask him how does the ship run? Is that what you?
Yeah, so I can control it. I can
Okay.
learn to control it, and then ask him whatever.
How
else
we
he
get
needs.
this ship to move? I'll ask what happened, and if he knows who attacked. Well, actually, we kind of already know that. I don't know if he- but like, how does he-
Just to confirm.
okay,
We,
yeah.
do you know how to fly the ship? Right?
Well, that's what I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Like, basically, let him know how to get this ship moving. Okay, I'll think of some other questions in the way, I guess.
How many days has Mel been dead?
You don't know?
I could tell you that. Oh, I can make a medicine check. You want?
Because if
before
it's,
you-
you said weeks, but.
Yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
probably doesn't matter then.
It's almost not even worth rolling, really. That's
If
a 9.
If it was,
It's a 9.
if it was 10 days, then I could reincarnate him.
Yeah, it seems like it must have happened before you guys originally left the record.
How long have
I
we
was
been
gonna say
gone?
10 days I can raise him from the dead. But
How long have we been gone?
Well, it took you what 7? Yeah, 5 to 7 days to get there
And then we
in
were there
pursuit.
2 days.
And then
5
5
days
days
back.
Yeah, so.
Hour
that
and a
was-
half.
Nope, okay, well, it was worth a shot. Just bring it back, we can pilot it for us.
yeah, that would have been nice.
I won't learn what I do once.
I didn't hear what you just said.
Did you want food?
Oh, okay.
Did you want
So upon seeing him, maybe him standing up or something, I'll say, I hope death was swift for you, but a few questions, I'll let you get back to it. It seems like I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is now. How do we get this ship moving? What does it take?
He kind of grumbles to him.
Can't even be left in peace after dead.
Someone give him a turtle.
You need, thank you. You need to keep the magic alive. For it's over. And you need propulsion from our gas engines. Steam.
You hear this out loud, because he does.
Yeah, I'm like taking notes.
Mhm.
You don't have any other questions?
So say, I'm pretty sure.
Is-
You can use one question if you want to.
I want to know what the
I have to see.
controls do. Like if I press the wrong button and we plummet, the ship is broken.
That might be too much for him to give you.
Yeah, I guess,
Think about what you want to.
yeah.
Next question. Were you killed by Lady Amalfia and her group? Or was it somebody else?
We were ambushed by magic. I don't know who, but she was fierce.
Okay, it's 2 questions out of 5.
Would he know who Amalthea is?
Probably not.
Because he stays with the ship, so.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of drawing like we know he's dead. We got how to keep this thing going.
I guess you could say, I don't know what it means by keep the magic alive. So I might go figure out the controls, but I don't know what it means. by that.
The coal that fuels the fires, the engines. Is that part of keeping the magic alive, or is there something more to it?
The coal pushes. The magic rises.
I'll let you finish.
That's 3. I'll ask one more for you. Is there anything to avoid in here that would end our ability to move this ship?
Don't touch the crystals.
That's good. It's good to know.
And don't pull the lever.
And he kind of like throws a dead finger. On the side of the wall next to where the door is, there's this small little encasement of kind of like this wooden case that if you open it up, there's a lever inside.
Emergency lever. That's all in my head.
Who's gonna
By all means, I don't know how we got here first. I have one last question. Anybody got any thoughts?
You know, describe the woman you saw.
Did you enjoy the turtle?
Ambushed by magic. Oh, and ask maybe if she's, no, we know she's with Freyr.
Was she
Yeah.
one who said she was fierce?
True.
What do you want?
She- she says-
She's very somber.
We didn't see her as fierce.
It's like, well,
I mean, I could just confirm what she looked like.
Yeah. how would you describe what the girl looked like?
Before your vision grew dark, you described for me this woman, or possibly a man she might have been with if you were ambushed. The man wore black robes, long white hair. The woman, red hair, beautiful, terrifying, demonic.
That's definitely a malt, yeah. Did
Uh,
Freyr have white hair?
Nonchalantly, I'm gonna take Meryl's body. I'm gonna kind of throw it over my shoulder.
I thought you were gonna throw him over.
No.
Nonchalantly, nonchalantly. Whoop.
He's a sailor. I'm gonna give him a sailor's kind of goodbye. Because
Alright.
that's tradition. Now I'll find a cot to put him in and wrap him up, and we'll give him a farewell eventually.
So- I rolled
Like, pretty smart.
Sure.
He's a sailor.
26 on call check to figure out.
No, the magic of it. Okay, so there's these purple and bluish green crystals. And then on the left of that, there's these two different buttons. It's not mechanical in nature where it's like plastic or metal, but they're definitely this, well, they are metal. They're like these two copper buttons.
Okay.
After looking at it, you can kind of like look a little closer and realize that there's this slight runic in carving
Okay.
on it. And that's clearly the top button turns on and the bottom button turns off the invisible nature of the ship.
Okay, so I'll turn it off.
All of you guys can now see the ship.
Is the propulsion going at all? I mean, so, okay. So they can now, everyone can now see the ship.
Yeah.
Is everyone inside?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it back on. Okay, so I wanna, if it takes me time to like figure out how to work all this, I'll sit here and do that when everyone else does everything else.
Yeah, you kind of turn it and see the like rudder move. And, like,
Yeah, I'm just gonna like work my way through, if I'm not gonna touch the crystals.
Like an airplane on the ground, you see it on the flaps, go.
For some reason, you really want to touch those
I'm
crystals.
not, nope, no destroy the beauty.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And then if I need to make any other rolls, I'll figure this stuff out so that I can learn how to pilot it.
If you're taking time, you don't need to take
We
rolls.
wanna
Don't take
find
them.
people to help shovel coal. We wanna hire
Well,
some.
do we have enough coal in the first place? Is there stores of?
We also want to get the horses in the cart in here, so we gotta lower it somehow. And load things.
Is there any marking on that particular lever they talked about?
No.
No. Just an emergency destroy lever. It's unmarked.
It's, you said it was like encased in something?
Yeah.
Encased in this like little wooden, you like a fire alarm that has that, like,
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
okay.
It's emergency brake flash.
Self-destructive.
Yeah.
Very, very Austin Powers. Self-destruct in T-minus 60 seconds.
Yeah. So you guys are lowering the ship down a little bit after you figure out how to kind of work some of the levitation levers on it.
Yeah, so that we can load the horses.
Yeah, you slowly lower it. It's not smooth. It's like choppy, like someone
I
new to,
will, I
like,
will get better, I promise, I'm sorry.
like someone working a forklift for the first time. Like,
Like a stick.
yeah. And yeah, but you do slowly get it down. Getting the horses and the cart on there will take some doing, especially with the horses may not being as
I can talk to them again.
I was gonna say, to be fair, you did say once we get to where we're going.
Totally
you know,
fair.
I was there.
Well, I know that's what I mean. Do we want
This is the time to think about our other scenario.
That's
We're
fine.
not using- we're keeping trip.
Yes.
Well, as I'm leading them on and talking to them about getting on the boat, I'm gonna turn to the paint and I'm gonna say, have you always been a horse?
you've always been a human.
I'm not a human, but
You all look the same to me.
that's fair.
No, but I've always been an elf.
If there is something that we can help you with around that, if that's a problem. we would have to do so.
What do you mean?
Well, if you haven't always been a horse and you don't want to be a horse,
Do you not like horses?
I do like horses, but if you don't like being a horse and you have been something else. we can help you with
Are you trying to trick me?
that. No, I'm trying to help you.
What can you do?
Well, it depends on what,
Not human.
it depends on if you have been changed into a horse. I'm always happy to seek answers, to see if there's something that we can do to help.
It may have been turned into a horse. What's it to you?
All I want to do is help. You seriously?
Dude, this could be potentially like a fey deity.
That's what I mean.
It's outside the game.
We have to buy another horse.
Yeah.
So be it.
We're gonna find that he's a trap.
I'm
We have
also
to buy
gonna
another
say, I'm
horse.
also gonna say,
Oh, and Draco's the
I've
brother.
spoken with horses before. You are not striking me as a horse. You're striking me
As what?
as someone with a lot of experience and a lot of experience with some not so great people.
Sweating.
That thing gets.
Who closed it?
That was me.
Oh.
I don't know, my brain was thinking.
That
we
was-
never
they never
closed-
closed that for that reason.
Yeah, I was like-
I'm sorry, I trapped us inside.
I might not be able to open the door, but.
That would be like slightly again.
It's just really hard to work.
I'd usually just pull on it.
Yeah, I've broken your door.
I'll just go through the front door.
You wanna try?
Phone call.
That's right, she's here to make a phone call.
Not right now.
Sorry, what was your last question?
I said, I've spoken with horses before. You are not, and then you said, and I said, you're not striking me as a horse, you're striking me as, and he said, she said, I don't know, as what? And I said, as someone who has experience with some not so great things and has experience with people not being. You're not talking to me like a horse has spoken to you before, which makes me think that you
I
have.
apologize. Nay, nay, nay.
Gosh, she's sassy.
Please give me some hay. Is that what you want?
No, I want to help. I'm curious what's
Last
happening.
person who wanted to help, I ended up like this.
There. They wanted to help you not be a horse, they made you more of a horse.
I did better when we were traveling and you weren't speaking to me.
I'm just up there wrapping a dead body.
So I'm gonna say, I understand that we haven't built your trust yet. I understand that we bought you, we thought we were buying a horse, we're clearly not a horse. If there is at any point you do decide that you would like some more help, or you want help with whatever it is that is ailing you, find me, let me know. We'll be caring for you.
Where are you going in this thing?
We're gonna go figure out how to fly this thing and rescue our friends. They're in danger.
Are you an elf?
Yes.
It's weird. You think with larger ears you'd be able to hear a question. Where are you going?
We're going close to Fenderwood.
Go. I'll go.
Okay.
I'll let you. I'll pull your cart. Whatever it is you want to do with me.
Let me know if you decide you'd like us to know more of your story.
Okay.
That's not fucking cool stuff. You guys were right.
All right. Now what?
Draco.
Yeah, Draco just walks right on.
He's just.
He's just happy to be here.
The warmth.
As we're down there, I'm gonna send Zaris to go check, see how much coal we have.
Okay.
I guess I'll go look to see how much coal we have.
Go now, peasant.
Fetch the boy, tell him to look for the coal. Yeah, you have stores full of coal.
Okay.
Hey, there's coal here, bro.
Next. So. We can't move the propulsion without the coal, correct? There's no propulsion without the coal.
You can't use this thing like a regular ship.
I mean,
There's no sail.
it might be a matter of amount of propulsion. You're moving very fast with all the people.
That makes sense.
I mean, we could try it out. I could grab more of the, after I got done wrapping the body and stuff. He's up top, by the way.
Okay.
Because, that's how they do. But
Seagulls are feeding, but it's fine.
well, he's always
Once-
he's
once
completely
we're-
wrapped, so he can't get it. But like, I was like, I could toss a few in and see how.
Yeah, if we're ready to go, let's do a stall test and see if the propulsion will move us at a top speed and how fast we go with just a bit of power.
Okay.
And how many were there? They're like,
There's 10 on each side, 20 total.
God, that's a lot. I'm 1/20th. If it's only just one person.
Yeah, we might be like we're on water,
Yeah.
cruising.
But you have 8 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we kind of have
There's
like
no
three of
reason
us.
why you need, I mean, I'm not playing, but
I was
you don't need a 1 person shoveling while 7 of you don't. do
Right.
anything.
No, I was just offering, like, we could try it out a
Shifts
little bit
and
to
stuff.
see if it goes. That way, if we all want to toss a couple in. And see
Uh-huh.
how
Oh,
fast
yeah,
we
I'm
move.
Definitely help.
Yep.
So, yeah, I will, I don't know, let's do like 3 or 4 scoops, I guess. I have no idea.
As he scoops delicate pieces of ice cream style coal into the, he gets like a couple of shovels and just kind of throws them in.
Turn it upside down.
You instantly feel a little bit of tug on that lever to the right of the steering wheel. Like you feel a little bit of tension in it. And instinctually, you just kind of push forward slightly and silently the ship.
So that's the levers from there. All right. Well, if we're willing to take shifts and we can get going.
I mean, we'll, can't always go nonstop.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
mean,
we could-
we'll be tired, or we can try to
Yeah.
hire some poor fools to follow us into Lord knows what.
Well, there's some bugbears around here. Family.
Yeah, there's a bear family business.
I don't think bears want to hang out with us anymore.
I mean, we wouldn't go super fast, but we can have teams of 3 or 4 people
Yeah.
really working at a double time. to get a show.
Well, the question is, are we going straight to Amalthea? So no offense, but we'd all died on Armory. And she lost to Amalthea.
She was ambushed by us.
That's very true.
And this is, I think with what we have, we could maybe stealthily get her out.
Well, that's the thing, do we want to do more of a smash and grab where we ambush
We don't,
wherever they specifically are,
we don't even know whether they
try and get them out, and then immediately vacate.
I did have a thought outside of the game. Malphia still has my cell phone. I could at any time contact her. Well, I would think theoretically, and be like, "Where the hell you at, bitch?"
She also reached out to you. She didn't need to do that.
She didn't need to do that. She could.
Also out of game.
She might be, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she could be setting us up for a trap.
What is the game plan?
Give her a ring.
Ombri's already asked me for help.
Give her a ring, bro.
We're not, yeah,
Well, then
we're
the
going
question
down
becomes, do
there.
we need to stop somewhere and get a force worthy of getting Ombre?
It would be really nice, a bunch of fighting birds.
We could stop by them
Oh,
and pick
let's
them
do
up.
it.
That is true.
Let's do it. They can shovel.
They can
Yeah.
shovel.
This is all starting to come together.
Let's enslave. them
Shane's
since
like,
they're
"God
not
damn it,
ready."
we're gonna have like 50 birds."
Hands tumbling in.
We're gonna have 50 birds versus
And
this.
so-
You know who makes good sheep?
And they love Cree. It's not They enough love Cree, they're fighting for
They
Cree.
just arrived and we
so
show up
they're-
like, remember that time we let you go?
There's also a bunch of tieflings that could.
Let's,
I mean,
let's,
a bunch of barbarians, they shovel a lot.
Cleanse our paths a little bit better. Maybe we should do that one.
I'm a
Yeah.
little, okay.
Okay.
And it's on the way.
we might have to just meta the fact that we haven't gone to Trey's place.
So
and
we need to
he
go to
offers
Trey's
us
place.
potential help with that thing.
I
So
mean. yeah.
Okay, so then we're making way for the village of,
Yes.
that's in, and before we get past the water, I will say we just need to, I would much rather give Meredith a proper send off.
by all means.
That's just gotta be my thing. So when we get to water, I will classically also overboard. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so,
Because he's falling.
There's also no water here, so it just hits the.
No, when we get over water, like when we get to water,
It's
I think
so
I
high up.
You're
requested,
gonna wait until you get
Still,
over
like-
water.
I requested it till we were over water. And
Okay.
I will do that. And you know, I don't even have any words to say to that.
Okay.
can I do another arcana check to see how the levitation works? Right, because I don't want that to happen to us. I figured out the propulsion.
I think
know
you
it's
said
cold.
that you were messing with one of the levers and you found out it did, like he was talking about like people.
Yeah, you were able to lower
Well, I
it.
know, but like what, he said to keep it alive, right?
No,
I
it's the
don't know.
magic. So keep the magic. alive.
Yeah, I don't know what is fueling that magic.
I mean, that's true. I didn't know how.
I don't, what is, so can I do another check to see what is fueling that magic, or can I go investigate the engine? Or,
Sure. What would you, how would you want to go about doing that? By investigating the engine while you're currently flying?
no, before we take off. I
You're
mean-
always floating. So there's
No,
never.
I know, but I mean, I'm not gonna mess with it. If we're still floating, I'm gonna leave it be. But
Okay.
I just wanna research whether that be going to Armory's cabin, if you're okay with that. And finding a book or something.
Yeah,
Panty ready.
Why does it keep floating?
I'd
Right,
like
because
to
that's-
cast a fifth level inflict wounds upon his interest.
Yeah. So yeah, you look around. There's a manual. and-
Yeah,
It's actually
Oh,
very
yeah, I know.
awesome.
Um,
sorry.
Yeah, so you kind of look around after I'd say probably a little while, probably like an hour or so of searching, you finally find they're not like manuals or blueprints or anything that specific, but you do kind of see different notes taken by Merrill of like different maneuvers that he does.
Okay.
You know, because when you're in the air, you can drop to speed,
Yeah.
turn, and like there's different things he can do to be more effective while flying. And in one of those cliff notes, you kind of notice that he mentions that the stones have to be essentially under the sunlight to be charged.
What's the stones in the cockpit? Or
The stone. So sorry, go way back to the first time you guys saw the ship.
Yeah, I remember the gyroscope thing.
Yeah, inside that gyroscope, like on each side, there's these purple stones and these like greenish blue stones.
Okay,
On like the right side is purple, left side is greenish blue, and so those are like the inside of that is where that like metallic like.
It's definitely sunny here, so.
is it sunny out now?
Mhm.
Okay, so then I feel more.
That's why-
reassured that we're.
Just the like meta, that's why it's always stored over water floating, so it can charge those stones. If it's ever in the water, it may not get the right amount of charge.
Okay, all right, so, thank you, that's what I was, all right, so if we're flying, then I'm definitely gonna take some of the clouds, because I don't know how well it's been charged. I want it to charge while we're
Okay.
moving. So,
So you guys start taking off towards gonna leave all the jokes to say yes, he's the only one going, so it's not very far.
Well,
I think like two or three of us have tried.
I'll be- we're down
I
there.
hope.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
going to.
Off to it, we
I was gonna
go.
say to Sage that since we are in Armory or ambush, you may be able to check around the area and see if there's anything amiss.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna
So
go.
you guys start kind of shoveling coal, moving your way away from the Wrecking Oasis, and you're starting to fly over the Vesuvian Mountains to make your way to the Phalician coast, where Xeris and his group kind of
It's all
live.
stickers.
Once I feel that we're above the clouds, then I'll turn the invisibility off.
After about a half hour, maybe about an hour into flying, you guys have now made your way what you can imagine distance-wise based off the speed that you're going over the Cretan River. So Zenro kicks that body off. And it-
Classically.
and who's all up on the top? Because I know a lot of you guys, who's all shoveling right now?
I'm shoveling.
Shoveling. the three of you, what are y'all doing? You're on top? Yeah, you're driving. So you're down low as well. So the two of you make perception checks.
We're heading towards what's the department in Brickon? Is that what we're-
15.
You guys are leaving.
No, I know where
No.
we're going from.
You see where the mountains of the Fate meet that peninsula, the Hetral Flats?
Yeah.
That's where his village is.
I rolled really high.
What did you roll?
24.
15.
So both of you notice there's, as you're you're above the clouds, but as you kind of look over deck, mainly you probably, even though you rolled better, but you're in the cockpit, you kind of look over and notice that the clouds underneath you start to darken, almost like a rainstorm. And then you hear,
No. Oh, it's a stupid dragon.
and breaking through the clouds, full wingspan, you see a giant, ancient blue dragon. And everything breaks. And it hovers in front of the ship, just. And that's where we'll end the session.
Okay, we're gonna
You
have
guys
to
got
talk
fucked
her.
up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk to her and see if we can keep our belongings for now while we try and do this, and then we'll give them to her later. We
Trace
promise.
muted again.
I muted myself. Sorry. I was gonna say we could just give her this, and then she'll probably bestow the same power back on us. So
Oh, I'm
She can take
sure
everything.
she will.
She'll take
I'm
care of
sure
it.
she wants this ship.
she did last time. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna have to kill him.
I do not want to face an ancient dragon.
I don't know what level you are.
By the way, you guys, after releasing the Aarakocra and traveling back, you all have leveled up to level 10. I'd say during your travels that happens, so you can go ahead and apply everything
Oh my gosh.
into
Okay, well.
our next session.
We're gonna have little armies. We're gonna have their army, we're gonna have
We haven't gotten to the army yet.
Oh my
Cool.
goodness,
Well-
it's 50.
Trey,
Jesus. My speed is 50.
Bye,
Pleasure.
Trey.
see you.
Bye.
Bye, Trey.
You're gonna be stupid.